There's
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station. Official home of the Sixers, Flyers, Union, and the best Eagles talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic.
Good morning. Thought I'd help you wake up.
It's 6 a.m. and you're listening to The John Kincade Show, Philadelphia's longest-running sports talk morning show on 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Let the party begin!
The show starts now.
Well, it's a party. Two of the regulars aren't here. Bob off, Pat off. If you watched the best show ever yesterday, you may have gotten some news. We will not do the same. John Kincade Show on 97.5 The Fanatic. Bradford White Water Heaters bringing the 6 o'clock hour. Bradford White is here for the pro. Jamie and Bob see Connor in Pat's seat. And Connor's wearing the shirt, Jamie.
Yeah, I didn't get close enough to take a whiff, but hopefully it's hanging in there.
He's freshly washed.
No, he definitely freshly washed. I passed him in the hallway, and it did not have any kind of...
All right, a 5-game win streak,
Off day yesterday.
That's right.
Or 2 days ago.
The wildfire off day.
Yes. Yeah, the wildfire day.
Yeah, all right, good. Let's hopefully... It should be able to get a wash this weekend. I don't think they're sweeping the Dodgers.
Oh, you want to
Boy, you're starting out like... Why are you peeing on our Wheaties?
Well, you can get a good start tonight. Michael Grove, who the hell's that guy? Come on, let's go.
I mean, come on.
Let's make it 6 in a row.
Jamie peeing on the Wheaties right off the bat. Coach said it this morning. I went around and watched it for like 30 seconds. The sunrise... Stat Monarch had the window up, and Haley was like, I said, Haley, look at that sunrise. It looked gorgeous.
Yeah, you can actually see the sky too, which is nice.
Yeah, the hysteria of Smoke Fest 2023 is over.
That was not fun.
Yes. I mean, it was just I think it's now, keep your children inside, don't go out.
I thought Smoke Fest 2023 was in April.
Well, I think it's all, believe me, there's plenty of reasons for it everywhere. So, the smoke appears to, it's all gone, right? I didn't smell it.
I looked this morning at the air quality. It was like 124.
Okay, so
last
it's getting
night
down.
It was 166.
I thought it was supposed to get worse overnight. They were saying all day yesterday, but I guess it didn't.
Well, the thing I heard on the news repeated over and over again yesterday was, overnight the air sinks. So it's going to take a little while for the afternoon air to rise and clear out. No.
They loved freaking everybody out for 48 hours. It was...
Yeah, the iPhone played a part in that, too, because anytime I pulled up the weather app...
I did not... Oh, you were looking
at
the weather
quality
app.
thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's
and it would be all red and, code, freak out.
Okay, well, now code freak out is over,
yeah,
thankfully.
Thank God. Thanks, Canada.
As we get started, Jamie's with us today thanks to the BetParks Sportsbook app.
Yeah.
And you can bet on the finals on the BetParks Casino and Sportsbook app tonight.
I would take
4.
the Nuggets.
I would take the Heat.
Would you?
Yeah.
That's probably smart because every time I've kind of counted the Heat out, they've usually answered.
I would take the points.
Well, here's the only thing is I want the Nuggets.
I just think they're too deep.
Before the series began on the BetParks app, I bet Nuggets in 5 to win the title.
Oh, did you?
And Vegas Golden Knights in 5 to win the Stanley Cup.
So both
I needed
2-1.
Florida. I needed Florida to win one of the 2 games. I wanted it to be after Vegas was up 3-0, so I'd feel better.
Yeah.
So now I'll sweat it. But I decided to try to pick an exact series, exact winner, exact games.
Yeah, that's fun. That's a fun way to bet.
And so I did it. I have no other wagers on that series, though. But now, watching the finals, I would bet Miami. I would feel comfortable with Miami tonight. Comfortable with it that they're going to.
Yeah, they kind of show up every time you think they're done.
Yep.
And, after the game the other night, you kind of went, oh, well, maybe the Nuggets just finish this off in 5. Well, and don't count out Jimmy Butler in the Heat.
Got to check out the Bet Pro Hoops on the BetParks Sportsbook app. You got to be 21 in Pennsylvania, Jersey, or Ohio. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. In the morning Mindbender, Coach says, according to Google Maps, the average driver is going to spend 2 weeks of their life doing this in a car. What is it?
Whew.
2 weeks of their life. I'm just going to say the easy answer, traffic.
Oh, really?
Sitting in traffic.
Oh, I don't know.
First thing I thought of was
that, right?
I would think it would be longer than that,
Yeah.
but
mine is sleeping.
What? Sleeping for 2 weeks of their life?
I was going to say flipping the bird. No,
Well,
There's a lot of
I'm gonna-
bird flipping.
I'm going to go with eating.
Not in my car.
Why is my sleeping getting scoffed at? You know how many times
Well,
people...
you're supposed to be awake when you're driving.
It didn't say driving.
It didn't say driving.
It says this
And
in,
it's 2
in a
weeks.
car. Okay, maybe Jamie's right.
Yeah.
Could Jamie be right, Coach?
No, he's not.
All good answers,
No,
but
they weren't all good answers. Jamie's was pretty poor.
yeah, poor answer.
Yeah, it's sitting at traffic lights.
Sitting at lights.
Oh, okay.
God, now,
So John was
the
closest.
now the weird thing is, I would think it would be much longer than that. 2
Well-
weeks, like 14 days of your life, you sit at traffic
Full
lights.
days, though.
Yeah, I know about 24 hours. I get it,
That's
but
a
I
long
would think
time.
I would think we sit at lights a lot.
Well, people in Philly just drive right through them, so you got to
Well-
account for that.
Well, I can tell you that East Goshen and West Goshen have not figured out how to time the lights on Westchester Pike. Coach, I don't know how many times you've gone out past the Newtown Square area.
Yep.
They haven't figured out how to set the lights so they literally don't run properly. So you sit at lights that you could be cruising through if they actually timed them. Right near the Wawa on Route 3, right there near the Philly Pretzel Factory.
Yep.
It's a gridlock because they don't frickin' time the lights.
Now it's funny that you just mentioned that because right as I'm on my way to work every morning, I
Yes.
take 130 to get onto 42, and there are 2 traffic lights right by this Wawa, and they're probably maybe 100 and something feet apart from each other,
Okay.
and they're not timed out either.
I don't understand it.
If you make one of them and you travel another 50 or 75 feet,
You get the other.
You hit a red light right there. It just doesn't.
It makes no sense.
They have one of those on Lincoln Drive where it's the double. It's like, why are you sending me through one if you're just going to stop me 50 feet
It's a
later?
tease, man.
One of my
Yeah.
former hockey players is in the West Goshen Police Department, Justin DiMidio. Justin's awesome.
What do you say,
I'm
Justin?
going to complain. Justin, would you fix it?
Nah, just do
Would
what
you
I do.
damn well fix it, please?
So when I come down 6th to get onto 676,
Okay.
the lights don't sync up and there's no turn on red, but it's 4 a.m., so I just turn on red. I make 2 illegal turns
So you
every
make
morning.
2 illegal turns.
Yeah, every single morning.
You better hope they're not cameras.
No, they're not.
Well, there is
I
a
checked.
by the way, there is a camera on near the Wawa after you go over the I don't know if it's the Platte Bridge or the side bridge that takes you in near the Navy Yard and the not near the Navy Yard, near the Eagles practice facility.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I come over that bridge and then make the right and go down past the Eagles facility on the left. There is a light there, and my nephew got caught with it. There's a light, like no reason that you should worry about.
Yeah.
Okay, turn. He got a ticket because of it.
Got to have your head on a swivel. I check for cameras.
So you do check for the
That's
camera.
cheap. That's cheating.
I swear it's cheating.
Yeah,
It is.
Catch me yourself.
Just time the
or-
damn lights, for
come on.
God's
Come
sakes.
on, what is this, AI now
Yeah.
getting us? Hand out
Well,
tickets yourself, you
There's gonna be
coward.
drone ticket machines.
Oh,
soon.
man. Bradford White Water Heaters are here for the Pro. Phillies with a huge win last night. And I would say that I did not think they were going to come back and win that game last night. When they fell behind, I had the sinking. Just all game long, the last 2 nights, I've been like, they're knocking on the door, they're not cashing in, they're not getting clutch hits, and then the Tigers are going to end up getting lucky and coming through. But that was a great comeback in the 9th inning.
Oh, awesome.
Fantastic. Bryce Harper just got it started. I thought it was out off the bat.
Yeah, when nobody's on base, he's great. He's it's hard to critique him.
But that
because-
is
but he's not hitting with people on base. So it was great. He came up in the leadoff spot there to get things started, and it just kind of went their way in the 9th there with the infield single, and Marsh sent one deep to the warning track to tie it, and that kind of maybe took a little of the pressure off Cody Clemens.
and Cody just coming up clutch.
He
Cody-
roped that thing.
Cody Clemens, and I remember was it opening day, Connor? We're sitting there in the press box watching Cody Clemens. Did he play opening day?
No.
Or was it one of the other games? Because the game that you were at.
He definitely didn't play opening day.
And I said to you, wow, Cody Clemens. Like they're gonna count on Cody Clemens.
Yeah,
He's been a much better player than I expected.
well, it's funny. He was like Detroit's version of Nick Maton last
Okay.
year, where it's like you look at the guy and you're like, okay, he's not really a player. And then just weird opportunities, he comes through. Like some of those guys, some of the role players at the major league level, their stats might not be good, but they might get a clutch hit or two for you there. And Cody's been really good this year.
Nick Maton thought last night he was delivering a
Yeah.
little dagger.
I mean, he kind of was. He got
Kinda.
close.
That's kinda. Kinda.
It's not on him. He was DHing. He got to talk to his closer.
Well, first off, Nick Naton's your DH. That's
that's how bad that team is.
That's not good.
That's bad. You said it before the series. They had the same record. And Connor said, don't be confused. That's just because of their division.
Right.
Even though you don't play a ton of games in your division still, they're in a really bad division. So it's good news. That's really good. The Phillies have dug themselves out, and yes, this morning, it is a minor victory. But do you realize you were 5.5 games behind the Mets, and now you're a half game ahead of the Mets?
Yeah, the Mets are imploding.
You can't beat the Mets. This team cannot beat the Mets. But everybody else can beat the Mets. And the Braves just own the Mets.
Yeah, wait. I thought the Mets were up last night when I
They
checked
were,
in.
and then
They were again.
Former Philly greats David Robertson and Tommy Green, or
Tommy Hunter.
Tommy Hunter, excuse me, really helped contribute to that blown.
Oh yeah, love Tommy Hunter giving up the nuke late. No, I knew they lost, John. I'm just reminding everybody.
I love the fact that the Mets continually gag, but I'm flat out embarrassed that the Phillies can never find a way to even look like a competent team against them. The Phillies roll over and die against the Mets the exact same way that the Mets do against the Braves. And I can't figure it out because the Mets are not very good.
Yeah, the Phillies beat the Braves beat the Mets beat the Phillies.
Well, the Phillies tread water against the Braves.
Wow.
Every year the Braves and the Phillies season series is like 10-9.
Well, they have the trump card last year in the playoffs. So.
That was fantastic.
Yeah.
A moment there. But the Phillies don't beat the Braves consistently, but they play with them.
Well.
They play with them. They play, yes.
Well.
They've won the season series against them, I think, 2 of the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Or during the regular season.
That's beating the Braves compared to how other teams play them.
Correct. And it's just, but I don't understand it. I for the life of me, I do not understand why.
Yeah, it's one of those weird things. It's like why Miami, used to dominate the Phillies all those years. It was like, man, if they could just get past the Marlins, it's just baseball has that weird thing where I guess it's between the ears more than anything, where you just are inferior to a certain opponent, and it never makes sense.
Are you a little embarrassed that the for some reason the Marlins are ahead of the Phillies?
The Marlins are 7 games over 500. They're actually a pretty good team.
Yeah, but I don't understand it either. Even though before the year, I did say I could see the Marlins finishing ahead of the Mets.
Well, they have a guy putting together one of the best hitting displays we've seen in our lifetime.
What's he hitting now? 401? Or like the other day he was hitting 401?
Something in the 390s, I think. Luis Ariz is unbelievable. That kind of helps you when you have a guy in your
Certainly
lineup.
doesn't hurt.
Yeah, it's batting nearly 400. So
he is hitting 403.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, that truly is. That's ridiculous.
And this is all with Alcantara having a, 4.5 plus ERA this year.
Where did they get him? Did they get him twins?
Arias, I believe so. I gotta check
no,
on
he's
from somewhere.
yes,
there.
the Twins.
Yeah.
It was the Twins. Yeah. I mean, how did the Twins let him go?
So with the Twins, he hit 316 last year, which is pretty good. 294 the year before, 321 the year before that.
How you letting him go?
Because you're
334 his first year.
You're Minnesota. You paid Carlos Correa. No one else wants to be there, so you're just going to waste away.
Yeah, but the thing is that how does somebody else not grab him with those kind of numbers?
I mean, somebody did. Miami.
Yeah, but Miami did, of all teams.
452 on base.
Whew. It is.
That's unbelievable.
Well, there's your MVP.
That's almost half the time, Connor.
That's very good math
true.
on your part, Jamie.
Almost, guys.
I'm not a big
great.
math guy, so I appreciate that.
That was great. So Phillies win, and they start a series with the Dodgers this weekend. And Jamie, we answered this yesterday. And so I'm going to put it to you since it is now at 100 games or left. 100 games left in the season. Phillies are sitting there at 30-32. How many wins must they have to secure a playoff berth? What is going to be the number that you must hit to be one of the 3 wild cards this year? So the number the Phillies, not the number you think the Phillies are going to end up with, the number that you think the Phillies must win to make sure they're sitting in one of those 3 spots.
So they got to win at least 57 games then.
Now, 57 would match last year.
Yeah, I think
87.
87 is the basement of wild card.
Okay, you say 87. Connor said 89.
Yeah, they got to get to 89.
And Bob and I
yesterday.
said 90.
Okay. I mean, I do think it's a little higher, 80, but I think, baseball's weird. And I think 87 could get it done. That's the basement. You'd much rather be at 88 or 89.
Well, 89 got you the second wild card last year with the Padres.
Yeah, 87's usually around that number, but that's a lot of games you got to win.
It's a ton of games.
Yeah, 57.
No, the thing is, though, 60 and 40, I absolutely could look at the Phillies and say they win 6 out of 10 the rest of the way. I really do. I can absolutely see that.
Yeah, I mean, if the pitching's coming around a little bit, you've had a great week, albeit versus some stinkers on the schedule. But the way the Dodgers series sets up, now you got Ranger, Nola, Walker. With the way Wheeler pitched now, your pitching is back. Suarez brings a lot to that rotation, just in terms of stability. You got to figure out that 5th spot, but if you're going to do it, the pitching's got to get it started.
We said the pitching was back before, and then Wheeler went out and crapped the bed against the Nationals.
Yeah.
And then he goes out and he's dominant like this. It feels like to me like a light bulb that's flickering on and off. Him and Nola, for that matter, just seem like I never know what I'm going to get night to night from either one.
That's probably, I know the bats have been quiet at times this year, but the inconsistency in the pitching this year, I think, is the biggest issue because of what you said. Like you just. Wheeler went out with a chance to stop a losing streak. Was it the Nationals?
It was the Nationals game.
And it's just like, all right, this is great. You got your ace on the mound, good opportunity to see some momentum here, and then
and it fell apart.
That makes no sense because he just was great against the Braves. It's just inconsistent.
It is. It's exciting, though, because I was starting to think, when's the countdown to training camp begin? Because the Phillies were spiraling down 7 games under.
Well, I just saw, was it 100 days to the Thursday night game?
It was 100. No, it's 100. Right now, Jamie, I'll give it to you. It's 93 days to the opener.
He's got his weird doomsday countdown thing that he's got going.
My doomsday app is, I think, that's how it was called.
Is that what it's called, the doomsday?
No, I have an app. I have an app that counts down to major events.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So I have the event. So it's the Eagles opener is 93 days away.
Okay.
Today.
Yeah.
You're feeling it? I am. I mean, I'm feeling it.
I mean, they're our happy place.
Yeah, that's where we're at right now.
The Eagles are our stability.
That's what we're looking for. Stability right now.
Stability's overrated. I love the up and down of a Phillies team that wants to kill us, and then all of a sudden can't lose.
Hey, with Colonel Season's popcorn seasoning, have you tried this yet, Jamie?
I haven't.
You can turn what into what the what. This is awesome. Just add interesting with Colonel Seasons today, available in the popcorn aisle. Do you have a popcorn aisle at your high-end grocer that you go to?
Yeah, no. We have no loyalty in the grocery game. I just shop around deals. I go different places for different things.
So you're an absolute whore when it comes to grocery shopping.
Slutty with my grocery shopping.
You just go out there and just whatever you want.
Well, I know where apple juice is on sale.
One day you're with Giant, the next day you're with Acme, the next day you're at Whole Foods.
Shout out John, the GM of Fresh Market. I see him all the time.
Of course, the Fresh Market.
Oh, Fresh Market's great, man. Best bacon deal in town.
Damn, you get around.
What's
the best bacon deal?
They do a BOGO Monday.
Every Monday,
bacon Mondays?
Yeah, free pound of bacon.
What?
It's wild. It's anarchy in these streets.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
And I throw one in the freezer because.
Now, do you send the butler, or do you the butler pick it up or not?
I'm a killer, Mr. Mom, man.
You love that. So, hey, Vic Fangio says he got screwed by Jonathan Gannon.
He did.
Well, we'll get to that next. John Kincade Show on 97.
to the John Kincade Show on 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
One of my favorites. Good heavens, Miss Sakamoto, you're beautiful.
This would be a John Kincade song.
Love the song. Absolutely loved it.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
She blinded me with science. You don't know that song?
Weird? Is this Weird Science?
No.
What the hell are you talking about?
You don't know the song She Blinded Me with Science?
It's Thomas Dolby.
Yes.
What?
You really,
No.
you don't know the song?
I've never heard it in my
She
life.
Blinded Me with Science.
No.
Yeah, it's a great song.
I got nothing.
No, it's very,
Is that from a movie?
it's very 80s. It's
Yeah, I
very
can tell
goofy.
that.
It's
If you
very
heard
goofy.
the main hook of the song, you'd probably know.
Okay.
It's poetry in motion. And then she turned her eyes to me. As sweet as any ocean.
I don't think so.
The elements in harmony.
Jamie,
Are we
just,
gonna do the
just say
second
you know
verse,
it,
too?
Jamie.
Jamie,
Please
just
Oh,
say
I
it.
love that song.
Hey,
yeah.
the weasel of, there's just crazy stuff going on around here. And Connor, you said, John, coach is really weird. I'm like, you're just getting that memo.
Yeah,
you're just getting it.
We got a weird
That's
coach now.
hilarious.
This is ridiculous. So Cam Camille is now inheriting the weirdness because coach is allowing it.
Yeah.
Because they got their soccer numbers for this new team Cam's playing on. And Cam normally wears number 9, but instead he got his second choice, which is number 11. Am I
Okay.
telling
Those
this
are my
correct?
2 numbers
Yeah.
growing up.
Yeah, so the director of the soccer program sent an email out to all the parents and said, what are your top 3 choices? Because they're getting new kits for the fall. And we put, number 9 as our number 1 choice because Cam has been wearing 9 on both of his teams for a few years.
Okay.
He didn't get number 9.
So
He got number 11. So
that was his second choice.
that was his second choice.
So what do normal people do? You wear number 11.
You wear 11.
Yeah, no. We
Was
don't.
he trying to work a trade?
I did.
No, he didn't.
I tried to work a 3-dad trade.
What are you offering?
I'm just offering the number, and if I have to offer maybe some tickets or a case of beer or
I mean, I
something,
think if
I'll
you
do
throw
it.
a pair of Union tickets in that deal, maybe number 9's got a bargain with you.
So I went to Alejandro's dad and said, hey, I know that you guys have number 9. That wasn't your first choice either. So can we have number 9? He said, well, we don't want 11. We want 10.
Ooh.
So then I had to go to Michael's dad and say, you have number 10.
I like
Can
this.
you give your 10 to Ollie? Ollie will then give his 9 to Cam. And it's still out there right now as the 3 dads are
Negotiating
okay, the jerseys.
Okay, here's what I don't
Is it
understand.
tense?
You said that the guy who got 9,
Yeah.
it wasn't his first choice.
That's correct. The director of the soccer club, I don't know how he managed to sit there and not give these kids the first choices they wanted because the 3 kids that I'm talking about right now, none of them got the numbers that they wanted.
Well, the kid who got 9 didn't. So the kid who put 9 as his number 1 choice, that doesn't make any sense. How did they screw this up?
He wanted
don't know.
9, wanted 10. Cam wanted 9. Someone else
But
wanted
obviously,
11. I
Cam's
don't know.
number 1 choice was 9.
Correct.
What does
Okay.
10 want?
Nobody, but the kid who got,
leave this
but
team.
the kid who got 11, but the kid who got the kid who got 10, right?
Yeah. He wanted
or the
11.
kid who got 9, his first choice wasn't 9.
Just wear the damn numbers.
That's correct.
They're 11 years old. They're not going to remember what number they wore when they were 11. They're not selling merch here.
Connor.
When you're starting a trend with these kids, and you see major leaguers now, if a major leaguer, no matter what sport, gets traded or whatever goes to another team, there are times where these guys offer thousands of dollars to another guy on that team that has their jersey number. Well, somewhere in that pipeline, the number trend had to start.
Yeah, I think it's when they start selling jerseys and trademarking stuff and having.
No, I remember being like gunning for my numbers.
What year though? High school?
No. Probably like Little League and
Connor,
and
you
CYO.
you are the person that has his college number on his phone
Yeah, college is
as his
different.
lock screen. I mean, so you're really not the person to throw rocks at this.
High school's different. College is different. These kids are 11.
Connor, it's not Oklahoma. It's not you're not South Carolina.
It doesn't like you got
No, I
your
get
name on
it.
the jersey. It's
Well,
different.
stop.
I get it. You want your number. You want to be like uniform throughout.
Yeah, but like that's too early to be like, this is my number.
No, I support this. This is good work,
Thank
Coach.
you, Jamie.
Coach,
Yeah.
I think that, first of all, if the kids didn't get their first choices, this is all fair game. I don't think this is weird at all.
No,
Yeah, throw a Messi jersey in the mix.
But I
see if
don't.
you can sway.
But I don't understand how it got screwed up.
You know what this is? This is the director going to them and saying, I'm going to assert dominance. You all get your second choice because I'm in charge here. Why? Doesn't matter.
Don't ask questions.
Exactly.
Well, then that could be.
And he's weeding out the problem parents that are going to try and number swap to undermine him. And Coach is top of the list.
Yeah, he could be targeting you as like a what do they call them? Tiger mom.
Problem
Yeah.
parent.
Yeah,
man.
you're a tiger mom.
Oh no,
Soccer mom.
we had the problem parents. I had it. I told the Daily Lack of local news out in Westchester. I told them when I left coaching that I would coach again. I would coach high school again when an orphanage needed a coach because the parents were not all of them. I shouldn't say that. Many of the parents were so freaking insufferable that it made it not fun. Now, I was a young kid coaching. I was in my early 20s as a high school coach. So it wasn't like early to mid 20s. So I wasn't I couldn't deal with it. I was like, your parents are a bunch of a-holes.
Yeah.
Like it's having everything to say about everything and wanting a voice in every single thing and helicopter parenting. And I swore that I would never do that to my child.
Kind of makes you wish that they just, I don't know, took the number they were given and moved on.
No, I don't think it's bad. Coach, I don't think there's any problem with it.
No, I mean we're negotiating peacefully.
What happens if you don't secure the number for Cam? Is there going to be
Tears?
Is he going to
there's
think you're a
tears-
failure?
Yeah, well,
I mean I don't want to do.
There's a lot of pressure after
I'm telling you this: if there's any tears, then that's the end to it. If my son was like, "Oh, let me get my number," I'd be like, "Okay, well then, you know what? Wear 11 and shut."
I think your
That's it.
mistake was letting Cam know that you're trying to make the trade. Should have done it in the secrecy of night.
It's a good point.
And then come out of nowhere like a hero.
Under cloak and dagger.
Yeah.
Is that would that even work? Is the question? Can you do it under cloak?
Well,
and
these
dagger?
two dads out there, they hopefully their minds when they wake up this morning are clear and know that this is for the betterment of the child.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if we're going through all this
And a
ridiculousness,
case of beer, maybe.
if
Yes.
I don't have a Cam Camille Union number 9 jersey some point in the future, like if he wears a different number, if he makes it and wears a different number, I'm done. I'm not supporting his career. He's got to have 9 now if we're going to make this big of a stink.
Well, I mean, is a lot of times the parents though put so much. It's a different day and age. I played in a whole different era. You got what you got. And if you were lucky enough to get it, Jamie, you grew up in a different era. Connor grew up in a different era. We got what we got. And anybody who would have made a stink about it would have been you would have been looked upon as just a complete idiot.
Oh, we
Back
got
in
what
the
we
day.
got, but I always wanted a certain number or
Well,
two.
you need a number for your frame, but you were a skinny kid,
Yeah, I was a beanpole.
but
my
you
whole
were
life.
big.
What was your number, James?
I didn't really grow until college, like big. I was 9 and 11 were my two numbers.
Oh,
oddly
okay, cool.
enough.
Perfect. You
That's
stole
really
from Cam. Everybody wants.
So
Why
would
does
you
everyone
get-
want 9?
I am not making a stink about this, by the way.
No, he's
I
not.
am
He's
just
trying to negotiate it.
respectfully requesting.
But why did Cam ask you to do this?
No.
Okay, well then that's out of bounds.
And then I got 8 in college. And I just went,
the way,
I'm 8 now.
my opinion is just swung on the issue then.
Yeah.
Cam did not ask you to do this.
No, but I
So
told
why
him
are you doing it?
that I would reach out to. Oh, well, he said to me, "Oh, I didn't get number 9."
And you say, oh, that's
And
all
I
right.
said, you know
11's
what?
cool.
Then, you know what? In life, you're not going to get everything you want, son.
Exactly.
That's the way life is. Good job.
I said, but let me see what I can do.
And then Coach goes and shakes down another 11-year-old so he does get what he wants.
I will
would-
shoot. I should
Hey,
shoot that
kid, give me your lunch money and the jersey. No one gets hurt.
I would absolutely and Liv says she's going to use it with her kids. Suck it up. Because that was her dad. Just suck it up.
It sounds like Cam's
It's
fine.
nothing. There's right, exactly. But I'd be like, you didn't get the number you wanted. Suck it up. Like there's just Olivia had a crush on when she was a little girl on one of the Thrashers players, who when she'd get to come to practice and everything, he was dreaming like to her.
You remember
little
who
girl,
the player was?
Zac Eflin.
I remember the name.
And Zac wore number 4. He was a first-round pick of the Thrashers back in the day. And Zac was like the young 18-year-old, kid coming up. And lived just like, she's like 6 and 7 years old. Loves Zac Eflin. And so she wore 4 when she played. And she played with she was like a public menace. Like in basketball, she broke her foot. Well, no, she was great defensively, had no offensive game. So I had nothing to give her as far as offensive game because I had none. But she was a menace as far as I told you, she got a little benching because of the fact that one time she was on defense. There was an inbounds play at the end of a game, and Olivia's covering a girl, and there's like 7 seconds left or 6 seconds left, and Olivia's covering a girl, and right before they inbounded the ball, Liv goes, "Your shoe's untied." And the girl looks down, and the ball comes right to Liv, and she steals it, and she goes down like a turtle.
That's a clean move.
It's okay in my book.
Guess what? They got her for unsportsmanlike. That it was her own team boss thought it was unsportsmanlike behavior.
If that's unsportsmanlike, later I'll tell you what happened in last night's men's league game.
Yeah, throwing bows.
Well, not just that. I was ejected from the building.
Oh God, this is really bad.
What?
This is really bad.
Like, get out of the gym, leave the school.
Okay, this is bad. All right, well, Vic Fangio says he got screwed. Well, potentially screwed by Jonathan Gannon, and the fact that the Cardinals were tampering with Jonathan Gannon to be able to hire him, that Vic Fangio, it appears he would have been the guy.
Definitely.
Would you rather have Vic Fangio than Sean Desai? First of all, first question. Because to me, I'm not Vic Fangio. If you didn't like Jonathan Gannon's defense, you wouldn't like Vic Fangio's.
I did like Jonathan Gannon's defense. I just didn't like Jonathan Gannon being a scumbag.
You mean at the end?
At the end,
okay.
Yeah. It's a tough question because these days in the NFL, I tend to like the younger outside the box. Not that he's that outside the box, but the new hire as opposed to the retread, I guess.
Because he is the definition of a retread.
But
Vic Fangio.
I mean, Fangio has been here for 2 years working as a consultant, knows the roster and personnel pretty well. They obviously thought pretty highly of him to pay him handsomely as a consultant.
I don't know that he got paid handsomely.
I think I heard he was the highest paid consultant. Like a year ago, it was like he's the highest paid consultant in the league.
Well, and another thing, too, in his favor, there was a lot of talk about, look at the Eagles' defense sucked in the Super Bowl. He consulted with the Eagles' offense on how to attack the Chiefs' defense. He did not consult with the Eagles' defense. He was a consultant on the Eagles' offense for the Super Bowl. So, in fact, they had a great performance because they scored the most points that any team has scored in a losing effort in the Super Bowl, I believe.
Yeah. If you had asked me fresh off the Super Bowl, I would have said Vic Fangio, that makes too much sense. Just hire him. Now that I'm a little more removed, I go, all right, Sean Desai could be, younger guy, well respected by Pete Carroll out there in Seattle. Sure. At the time, I probably would have wanted Fangio more.
I would have wanted Fangio more at the time.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with Desai, and I like the more that I hear about him, the better. Is just the approach that he's taken. And one thing we've learned, Connor, is that this young team, this young coaching staff, they've done well. The young guys have meshed. They have the youngest coaching staff in the NFL both years under Nick Sirianni.
Yeah, I mean, what they're doing is working. Like, Vic Fangio has a track record. I would not have been upset at all if he was the defense coordinator of this team. But I also say, look at the track record of this Eagles organization when they get their second choice at a head coaching position or at a coaching position in general. I mean, they seem to evaluate coaching talent well, whether or not they get their top choice. So I think we're going to be fine either way. It's annoying that they said that this guy was the guy they wanted, and the reason that they couldn't get him was because Jonathan Gannon was, Jamie,
a scumbag, fink, rat, enemy of the state.
Thank you. It's a layup.
Now, you need to get a little more decisive of everything, especially, too, with the podcast going on. I mean, is that? And
I think it was one of the days I filled in for you, John. I erupted at Jonathan Gannon because, you don't need to hear anything else to know that this was probably more than your normal tampering. Otherwise, Jeffrey Lurie. It does,
yeah.
Yeah, otherwise, Lurie and Bidwell aren't getting involved in this and set because teams don't give up third-round picks, swaps for nothing. No. So, it kind of sucks a little bit, but it's nothing against Sean Desai. Excited for him. Fangio, clearly his answer yesterday, clearly told you everything without saying it directly.
Now, it is interesting, though, as now Devontae Smith, and I didn't get to hear your comments on it. We've talked a little bit about it. Devontae Smith says exactly what I say. And I know it's not popular because people don't want to say anything that may be considered critical of Jalen Hurts. Devontae Smith said it flat out on podcast recently. So why'd you lose the Super Bowl? He goes, we gave him 7 points. We lost by 3. We gave him 7 points. They didn't turn the ball over for a free touchdown. We did.
I'm sure he's not saying that unless he's heard Jalen say it himself.
Absolutely.
And
so they understand it.
Yeah.
They know it. They gave away 10 gift points because the punt coverage that set up the game-winning score right there, that was a gift 3 points. That was a gift 3. So they gave away 10. They lost by 3. Anyone trying to blame it on anything else first that doesn't look at that first, the players themselves understand this. The fans don't. The fans that are Gannon, they're like, it's idiotic. You don't understand math.
Yeah, but Jalen Hurts came back and performed great, whereas the defense didn't get a single stop in the second half.
No, they didn't. And they're not the first against the Chiefs to have that, not the last.
Saying the right thing isn't always the right thing. Like, the players are saying the correct thing. It doesn't mean they're 100% being truthful or right. Like,
so now you're going to say that. Now you're going to do the sports radio thing.
Yeah.
And I thought that's what we were doing here. I'm still right. No, I'm still right, and the players aren't really telling the truth. That is such a load of crap.
Well, C.J. Gardner-Johnson told the truth.
That is what is load of truth.
He said Jonathan Gannon didn't make adjustments.
Bitter C.J. Gardner? Stop it. Who are the guys that are here that are saying?
Well, nobody's going to say it if they stay.
Well, exactly. C.J. Gardner-Johnson C.J. Gardner-Johnson is an idiot.
Well, I mean, he might have been right.
You're carrying C.J. Gardner-Johnson. I'll take guys that are actually here.
Jonathan Gannon was getting
Zillow
updates on his phone on the sidelines and checking in on new properties he can buy with all of his new money. Yeah.
And you're basing this on the Nick Saban hive mind of like Devontae and Jalen and everything. They're going to say the right thing.
Jonathan Gannon's like texting his wife at halftime.
Because it is the right thing.
I'm not saying they're wrong.
This one has an infinity edge pool. Ooh.
But it is the right thing.
I'm not saying it's not. We're agreeing there. I'm just saying there's more to it than just the right thing.
There were lots of fingerprints on the crime scene.
Yes.
But the number one thing that happened that they did, that the Eagles did, that the Chiefs didn't, was give the other team 7 gift points. And honestly, they gave them 10 gift points minimum.
Yeah, but if you stab me 9 times and Jamie stabs me 8, I'm not only mad at you.
No, I get you. I have no problem with someone saying that defensive game plan in the second half was weak. It was weak.
So he deserves a lot of blame.
No, but it's not. He is not the reason you lost. The reason you lost is you gave them points. That's what you did. You gift
They're both the reason.
Hey, in the linchpin coming up, we're going to find out about something Jamie tweeted yesterday. Profane. John Kincade Show. Happy
talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic. Now, back to the John Kincade Show on 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Good Friday morning to you. If you're injured in an accident from big to small, call 855 Barry Law for the personal attention you deserve. You're going to pay nothing unless they recover money for you. That is Barry Law. We appreciate you being a part of the show this morning. Jamie Lynch with us. Thanks to the Bet Park Sportsbook app. Jamie getting a podcast out today. How is that going, Jamie? You got everything all set to ready to
just
go?
about, yeah. Working on it. The finishing touch is making beautifying.
Beautifying it?
Yeah.
How do you beautify it?
Not very well.
That's sort of like taking us behind the curtain.
It's putting lipstick on a pig.
There. That's good there. We're going to have a little discussion of Bears coming up.
Yeah.
But
I was wondering where that came from.
Yeah, well, it's one of these Fridays and it's summertime and it's a little weird, but we're going to get into
John
that.
and Coach are wrong.
No, I'm not. In fact, I have the facts. I can read it right to you where it is the facts that, yes, something about Bears. Plus other facts that I thought I knew about Bears where I was absolutely wrong. That I things I thought I knew about Bears that would protect you that are absolutely false. So we'll get into some of those. But in the linchpin, Jamie tweeted about a player who used to be sort of near and dear to our heart.
This is the linchpin.
Yeah, so sometimes Twitter shocks you with like what you put out into the universe and like the reaction it gets. So yesterday I was doing my fantasy baseball, staff check-in, and I was kind of reviewing everybody's numbers recently and game logs and all that stuff. Real nerd stuff. I love fantasy baseball though because it really keeps you in tune with the whole league. So I was checking out my guy Zac Eflin. I drafted him late this year. When the Rays signed him, at the time I went, good for him. He got paid. It was the biggest free agency deal the Rays had ever given out. And so as a Rays admirer, I went, all right, well, they clearly see something in him, which is what we saw over the years. Some really good stuff at times. He could never stay healthy.
No, he couldn't.
And I had no problem at all with losing Zac Eflin at the time. I just thought it was the right thing. Consistently hurt. Brutal. Didn't disagree with it at all.
And you didn't dislike Zac Eflin.
No, I like Zac Eflin.
We wish that it had worked out here.
Yeah, it's just one of those guys that was snake bitten. You're like, man, why can't he ever stay healthy? So Zac Eflin on the year is 8-1, 2.97 ERA. His WHIP is really low. I think it's like 1.1 something. So I just put out his stat sheet of his last like 6 or 8 starts. And for the record, he has already been on the IL this year. But he's pitching phenomenal.
It's only 10 days, right?
Yeah,
it was a
quick
little stint.
Yeah, but when you look around baseball, Verlander again, 4 earned runs in 3 innings last night. Alcantara, some of the big name guys can't really get going.
Strider got rocked last night.
Yeah, it's just like some of the big name guys can't get going, and you're seeing guys like Sonny Gray and Zac Eflin and a bunch of guys, thrive this year. So I just put out the tweet. Next thing I know, I look at the impressions on it. It's got like 132,000 views or something like that.
Oh, big socials guy, huh?
Yeah. All of a sudden, I'm like, man, I just put out the Zac Eflin like stat line thinking, I don't know, just putting it out there, kind of like a hat tip to Zac Eflin.
Yes.
Next thing I know,
that's all you were doing.
Phillies fans are like debating it in the comments and the threads. It's got
we reacted to it yesterday
Did you really?
morning.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did it shock you how good his numbers were?
Yeah, it shocked me. But again, really thrilled for him. But I still got to figure out what the Rays do with players that we don't.
It's unbelievable. I don't know what their magic touch is down there, but it's something is really good. And look, the Phillies did a good move. They hired the guy from down there to bring into the front office here. So it's the name I can't pronounce, and I'm not even going to attempt. But
Mattingly got him in here.
Yeah, right? I think that's a great move.
Preston Mattingly.
Yeah, Preston
Mattingly.
Sounds like a guy who went to school with Jamie, played lacrosse with him.
Yes.
So is there any other athlete that comes to mind that like at the time they left, you kind of were like, all right, yeah, that's the right move, and you wished them well? Because Zac Eflin is it's kind of that for me. I'm happy to see him thriving. I don't know why, other than I always liked his stuff.
When I saw this topic, I couldn't think of an Eagle.
Oh, an easy Eagle. Come on.
Who?
Nick Foles.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he never thrived out of here.
What?
No,
He never thrived when he left here.
Oh, I thought you said he never thrived here. I was like,
No,
but
he
you
had
wanted
to have
him to
thrived.
thrive.
No, but the thing is, though, I got to see. I'm looking at it as.
Right.
Am I right to look at it this way?
I think
is that
the
somebody who went somewhere and then thrived. The Eagles rarely have a player that leaves here and then goes elsewhere and just absolutely thrives.
Yeah.
The one I thought of, though, was Nick Foles on the Bears when they played Brady on the Bucks, and he beat him in primetime. And I was just like, it's good to see him still be doing that.
That was like a Monday Night Football, too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody, I think, wishes Nick
Yes.
Foles well.
Absolutely.
But Eflin was just kind of like, it caught me as a weird one where I was like, wow, I'm actually like pulling for this guy.
I am, too. I hope he does well.
Yeah.
TJ McConnell's one for me.
That's definitely Bob's answer.
Yeah. I have no issue with that. He went to Indiana. They're not good. He got paid. He's playing well for them. He did work for the Sixers.
I'm glad he got paid, too.
Yeah, exactly.
I love seeing that.
Wouldn't have paid him here. Like, that's
No.
a perfect situation.
That's interesting. So
Yeah.
That is it weird, though. It's weird the stuff that gets a reaction that people
People
then
were like
start
debating. If any Phillies fan said they should have signed him, they didn't pay attention to his career. And it was
that's not what you were saying.
I was just putting it out there. And next thing I knew, it turned into a Phillies Twitter discussion board about Zac Eflin and if they should have signed him. I'm like, no, they probably shouldn't have signed him.
Well, he'd be the best starter on this staff.
Well, that's what I almost included in the tweet, but I didn't.
Well, he would be.
He'd be the staff ace right now.
He would be. Hey, that's good stuff, though. Jamie's podcast, too, was out, so people can still where do they find the podcast?
Apple
How do they get it?
Podcasts and Spotify. Just search Daily Odds Pod.
And you don't have to be walking a dog to do it.
No. It's
Even
just,
though Nikki Foles will be glad to get back outside today.
Yeah.
After the smoke.
Bootsy and the girls. Bootsy's an old girl, so we had to keep her inside. She's got emphysema.
Because
I just made that up.
Because
She's old.
Nikki and the girls watch Adam Joseph. Like if Adam Joseph told them, to make the purple Kool-Aid, they'd be making it. And so they're watching, and Nikki Foles saw Adam say, keep pets inside. So Nikki would not go outside until Adam says it's okay to go out.
My guy Bolt's a little guy, so we kept him inside, too.
Bolt.
Can't have him getting the smoke.
Well, they say the flatter the nose, the less of a snout they had, the worse it was.
He's got a snout, but he's only 13 pounds, so I just be safe.
Yeah, be safe. Everybody's safe. We're
I'm careful with Bolt. I can't have anything happen to him. He's
Bolt,
my little
though.
buddy.
Hey, remember when we discussed how this town had Harper, Hurts, and Embiid as like the cornerstone star players?
Still do.
Do you think Embiid belongs in that conversation right now?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
He's the MVP of the
No
National
question.
Basketball Association. He has come up small in the playoffs.
But is he?
Yeah, I mean, it's a regular season award. It's not a postseason award.
Is that going to keep you warm at night? It does not. By the way, because I said it during the regular
No, it
season,
doesn't
I
really
say it
do
now.
much
By the
for
way,
me.
I like the money that I won, thankfully, on it.
That's
that
nice.
I put those away. But it's like that award means nothing. It doesn't make anything about this past season seem better. That was a positive or otherwise.
No.
When you crap out in the postseason and don't show up in the biggest games.
No, but I still think it says he belongs in that discussion of, the town greats.
Yeah, for sure. And look who he's
Those guys performed in the under pressure.
I know, but look who he's being compared to. Jalen Hurts is the perfect person. I love him. He can do no wrong.
He is perfect.
He appears
And
to be perfect.
If there's a second perfect person, it's a guy who just came back faster than any human possibly could from Tommy John, that never gets out, that always hits clutch hits, and
Yeah, but you're giving two examples of things that I'm not comparing Embiid to. What I'm saying is, on the biggest stages, Bryce Harper and Jalen Hurts balled out, showed out, showed up for this city, put everything out, and then outperformed.
Yeah, but
in some ways.
them being basically perfect doesn't make him not elite.
Yeah.
I didn't say he's not elite. I'm just saying, is he in their conversation? Really?
Well, I mean, rightfully so. He's that guy for the other team in town.
But is he? But he's not. When we needed him to be, when the biggest pressure was on, and it was only second round. It was only the second round of the playoffs. We're not talking about NBA Finals. We're talking about the second round.
He did push himself back early from injury. Look, Kawhi Leonard had a similar injury this year and shut it down. So, I think you give him that. I think he's a tough player. He's not great in the postseason.
Do you think he's mentally tough? Because I do not. I do not believe he is mentally tough.
I
believe I admire him playing through when he's like a broken face. I admire the hell out of that. But mentally tough, I think he shrinks.
Yeah, I think. Well,
under pressure.
Yeah, I don't know if he's the alpha killer.
Well, he's not alpha. There's no way he's alpha.
But I think he's tough, and
No, I think I admire him playing through pain.
Yeah.
I admire that. It's just he's always in pain.
Yes.
It's constant.
Yeah, but
and we all know it.
his talent level will always have him in the conversation with those other guys. You're not wrong with what you're saying, John. Like, those guys have had playoff success. He hasn't. But his talent level, it's impossible to keep him out of that conversation.
I think last year we saw two performances where Hurts and Harper actually elevated from where they were and were at a whole nother level when the games were the hardest and the pressure was most on their shoulders.
Harper, yes. Hurts, and this might not be fair, they didn't play any close games. I mean, Hurts was great, but like, we weren't talking about, the offense has
I'm
been
talking about the
incredible.
playoffs.
I know. I'm saying in the playoffs. We weren't talking about the offense was incredible. Like, they beat a bad Giants team and a San Francisco team with no quarterback.
I think it was arguably one of the best quarterback performances I've ever seen in a Super Bowl.
Correct, but that's one game, and I'm not.
But it's the biggest game.
I get it, but it's not like Hurts came out and threw for 500 every game in the playoffs and carried them to the Super Bowl. Like, he was very good.
He was outstanding.
Yeah,
Except for the fumble we just talked about.
right.
No, that was a bad one. That was bad, and that was freakish. That was a freaky play.
Never seen him do that
right,
before.
Exactly. So, just an interesting thought as we begin the 7 o'clock hour, brought to you by the all-new BetParks app, sportsbook and casino in one sleek, easy-to-use app in Pennsylvania and Jersey. So, Connor asked, can a bear punch? So, I had to go to Bear Smart.
Bear Smart.
Is this a website you frequent often?
No, I had to go and look. I said, where do you find the information on bears?
The credibility of Bear Smart?
Bear Smart is one of the world's most foremost sites on bears.
Posted by Dwight Schrute.
And it has tells you, breaks them down by bears of what country and the color of the bear and everything like that. And I learned that a lot of things that I thought I knew about bears might not be true.
So they don't poop in the woods?
Can a bear run down? There's the one is that bears can't run downhill.
What?
Really?
Why
No, that's
not?
what people say. Bears can't run downhill. You see, we would have bears. We've had bears in our backyard in Georgia. So I mean, it's like we're right walking through along the riverbank. That there are bears.
Wait, is it true or not?
It's false.
I was
But
going to say.
people say it all the time. Okay, I'm going to give you ones. There's a.
I would have guessed the Bears could run down.
Do you play dead? Do you play dead to get a bear to leave you alone?
Yeah.
No.
Yes, you do.
No, you do not.
What?
Hell no. Why are you going to make yourself food?
That's what they say to do.
Playing dead will work if you're being attacked by a mother grizzly that's defending her cubs. In all other cases, the bear is going to pounce on you and maul you.
Yeah.
You become a target. Do not play dead. The bear is not going to come up, sniff you, and walk away.
What if I'm wearing the stinky victory shirt?
Well, that shirt, that
How
bear
long's
would
the
smell
victory
alike.
streak?
Okay, I'm going to give you another true-false question. It is better to carry a rifle or a pistol than to carry bear spray.
True.
You say true to carry the
going for the
rifle or
pistol.
pistol.
I'm going to go with bear spray.
Bear spray, much more effective.
Wow, I'm getting cooked by these bears.
Much more effective. That people say bears have poor eyesight.
I'm going to go false.
Yeah, I'll go false also.
Yeah, it is false.
Are all these false?
They have,
No, they're not.
They have predator vision.
If a bear charges you, climb a tree.
No, don't do that.
Yeah, they can climb.
And they will climb, and they will get you, and they will maul you.
And they're better climbers than me.
Exactly.
My fat ass trying
What
to
is
get up
the
a tree.
best way to have bears not bother you when you're on a hike and you're in bear country and you're hiking in the woods?
To make yourself big and make noises?
No, the best way for them not. You're on it right
Loud
there.
noises, right?
Sing, whistle,
Oh, Coach loves whistling.
a bell on your bag. A bell on your bag that just sort of
I'm not
jingles.
doing that.
That will keep-
See, you could tell me that's right. That feels wrong. I'm walking through the woods just jingling.
Hey, I'm here.
Hey, come get me, bears.
I have no weapons.
They always say that if a bear tastes human food, they won't eat wild food ever again.
Really?
No, true or false?
Yeah, I saw that in a cartoon once. The guy's name was Yogi.
False.
True?
They'll eat bear food again.
Connor, you know nothing about bears.
I don't know. I'm not
And
a
more
bears man.
importantly,
They have to survive.
a bear can claw, slap, tear, punch, and use its limbs to be able to attack a predator.
Are we breaking down jabs versus
Yeah, right.
mauls? Like, it kind of seems like the
when
same.
I see the way this originated was I'm gonna have a black eye because I got an elbow pretty bad in my basketball game last night, And Coach said that I should tell people at the bar this weekend that I got punched by a bear. I said bears can't punch. Yeah, I would have
they can now.
I would have scratch marks if a bear got me.
I would think you would if you got punched by a bear, you'd have scratch marks.
That was my argument. And then he kept saying, no, bears can punch.
No, but bears can punch. It's just on right there. And
It's semantics.
they can punch.
I think they maul. They just kind of.
Well, they do.
Whoosh, like
Exactly.
the whole arm
man,
comes across. I don't think they're throwing jabs and uppercuts and crosses.
Okay,
and
now
The bears don't know the sweet science.
Now, what embarrassing thing did you do to get thrown out of a gym last night?
Oh, my God.
Because this is embarrassing.
No, it was deserved. So, first of all, I got the elbow to the eye like 2 seconds into the game, like clocked to the point where I had to kneel down on the court and they held the game for a minute because I couldn't see. No call or anything. And
Was it a dirty play?
No, it wasn't dirty.
Accidental?
No, it was very accidental, but the guy caught me clean and hard, and they didn't even think about like calling anything. Refs were bad. We were down 6 late, and we tried to throw an outlet pass. We stole the ball. We're going the other way to try and cut it to like maybe a 3-point game. And my brother throws a bounce pass, and the guy jumps up to defend like a higher pass and hits him off the ankle. Goes right to one of the players on their team. They hit a layup to go up 8 with like 30-some seconds left. That's kickball. Like, it's kickball every single time. You're trying to throw an outlet. It hits off his ankle directly to one of their players. They don't call anything. And they've been bad all game. So I go ballistic. And the guy starts trying to tell me he has to make a full kicking motion where his knee extends.
That's not true.
I know. And
in basketball, that is not true.
And I told him as such, and he teased me up. And then the game was already over because they're up 8. It's a running clock, so they're just going to run it out. We had no way to catch him. So the guy's telling me a wrong call. They've been bad all night.
That's not the rule.
I know. And I was telling him as such. I already can't see out of one eye because of a call they didn't get earlier. So I go ballistic, just losing it on this guy, calling him every name in the book.
Well, that's dumb.
We're paying you, this, that, and the other thing. Oh, that technical's the only call you've made all day. To the point where they had to hold the game until I exited the building.
Okay, that's dumb.
How old is the ref?
Oh, I don't know.
Like,
30,
contemporary
late
years?
30s, early 40s.
You should not be able to play in that league again
Why not?
because that's childish.
I mean, he made a terrible call in the final game of the season.
It's a
that basically
freaking
iced the game.
pickup game.
It's not a pickup game. We pay $45 every week for ref fees.
Okay. It is a glorified pickup game.
I'm paying money. If I'm paying money and they can't get a kickball call right in
I can act like an NBA coach yelling at an official. It's dumb, Connor. It means nothing. The game means nothing either way. The game means nothing.
They had a point in the game where a guy committed a foul on the other team. They walk over to him, tell him why it was a foul, and then just don't call it. Like, it was incompetent.
So they were out to get you then?
No, I don't think that at all. I don't like incompetence.
sounds like you
I don't
do.
like incompetence. I don't like paying somebody to not be good at their job. So I got my money's worth the other way.
You should not be in that league again. They should never have you in that league.
What did your teammates think?
Oh, they were fine with it. The game was over at that point.
Was the other team looking at you like you were a psycho?
A little bit.
They
but
should.
I went over and talked to him after, and I was like, that wasn't about you guys. You guys deserved to win. You guys played a great game.
These officials, though, I'm going to talk to the league about it.
I didn't even say anything about the officials. I was just like, I had
Well,
to,
you were berating him, man.
I said to him after the game, I was like, I didn't like the call. I had to let him hear it. I didn't say it was bad officials. I didn't say anything. I just said, hey, you guys deserve to win. Congrats.
You're going to be, I'm telling you, he's going to be the worst Little League parent ever.
No, I'm fine.
No, you won't.
I'm fine when I'm not
you
playing.
won't be. You're going to be your kid. Connor, it is far. Let me give you the memo. It's going to be far worse when it's your kid and you're watching it. You're going to feel, if they get cheated out of something, you're going to feel 100 times worse than you feel.
I've never been ejected from anything before. Like, this is my first one in my life. I've been playing sports for 24 or odd years.
Coach, you've coached many teams.
Yeah.
As have I. I can spot Connor a mile away.
He's going to be
at the first parents meeting. I can spot Connor.
Yeah.
That's crazy town.
He'll be trouble.
It is going to be trouble. Let's see what Jim in North Wales has to say. Jim, good morning. You're on the Fanatic. How are you, buddy?
Morning, guys. John, best of luck, and I'm praying for you, buddy.
Thanks, man. I greatly appreciate you, and the prayers work.
I'm a high school referee, and I just want to touch on what Connor was talking about. The rule is that it has to be intentional for it to be a kick ball. It has nothing to do with like a full swing motion or anything like that. It just has to be
an intentional
act.
So it was, but it was right, but it was not intentional. Right, but as Connor was pointing out, it wasn't intentional.
No, but it was very clearly off his foot directly to another player on an attempt to outlet the pass.
But it wasn't intentional.
No, I
He didn't
mean,
intentionally stick his leg out, then it's not a kick ball.
well, if it jumps and hits him directly in the foot
Doesn't-
and goes to another
But
player.
that's not a kick ball then.
It has to be an intentional act.
You should apologize to this official. You got it wrong.
Oh, I'm not apologizing to this guy.
But you got it wrong.
I can't
Well,
see out of my
good
right
luck.
eye still.
John, good luck, brother.
Thank you, Jim. We appreciate you, buddy. You got it wrong, though. The official was right. You were wrong. Now, the kicking motion thing, his explanation was wrong. Like, if he was telling you, well, there has, a kicking motion or something like that, then that's wrong. But the official just told you there. You were wrong.
I would have gotten thrown out in Jim's game, too.
It's incredible. I just don't understand. I just don't understand it. Like stuff that matters. I can absolutely throw down about.
It's not about winning and losing the game. I get so annoyed with officials because they are allowed to be incompetent and have no checks and balances at all kinds of levels.
It's a pickup game.
I don't care, John. If I'm paying you money to do a job and you do it terribly, it is my right to say you're doing it terribly.
Connor,
and it's their
then
right to throw me out.
You realize Coach now is hearing you say all these things, and the post-show meetings are going to be brutal for you.
I think I do my
Coach,
job
I think
well.
you're going to be all over him now. I mean, come on.
I feel like he's my son in here, and I feel like telling him to go sit in timeout.
Lighten up, Francis, is
They
what I
already
would
put
say.
me in timeout last night. I left the building.
Hey, what I would say to you is that it just doesn't. In all my coaching career, I had a 2-minute penalty once. Mike Condon gave me a 2-minute penalty versus Monsignor Bonner, a bench minor. My entire career, I had one bench minor penalty ever as a coach.
Yeah.
I didn't berate officials. Didn't. Now, would I work an official a little bit? Yes, but I would respectfully work them. Never used language. Never did something that would incite them.
Yeah.
How bad did your language get last night?
And that was real sports.
It was curse words, but it was not like anything out of pocket as far as him personally.
You were calling him incompetent.
Yeah, well, I mean,
That's personal.
saying someone's bad at their job
That's
is not
personal.
That's not the worst thing you can yell at somebody.
I understand. You know what you could get him? Get him some Colonel Season's popcorn seasoning.
No, he doesn't get a popcorn.
It'll turn his regular popcorn into something amazing. Jamie's getting some of this today. Colonel Season's is available in the popcorn aisle.
There's some new popcorn like cooker that everybody says is like the greatest thing in the world, like a stovetop
Do you
cooker.
cook it in oil?
I don't think so. But I've seen a lot about it on social media lately.
Coach, you know all about this stuff.
I want to
right?
dive into it.
I mean, you know all about popcorn.
Yeah, I actually for Christmas got this container that you just put the popcorn in, the kernels, and you put some olive oil or something in there, throw it in the microwave for a couple minutes, and
I've heard
awesome.
the olive oil gives it a really neat, like a really little
right.
extra zest.
I think this is it. I just looked on Lord Bezos'
Okay.
app here. The Salbri. It's got like 35,000 reviews, 5-star. It's just like this little pot-looking thing, but people say it like
That looks
it
awesome.
makes the popcorn.
that's what I have.
Oh yeah,
You got that. How much is that? $40?
$12.99.
Oh my gosh, that's
But
awesome.
people say it's awesome.
And what you do is you take the flavoring that you want and you put it in there all together.
you put it
has
in the bottom.
And it evenly
everything.
spreads
Yep.
it.
Okay.
And you put the lid on top of it, put it in the
Ooh.
microwave, and it comes out delicious.
So you go raw kernels?
Yeah, raw kernels.
Yeah, he's all about raw. Hey, Anthony and Limerick, you get the last word on this. On Connor getting kicked out of a rec league game.
Connor, you're 100% right, dude. 100%.
Thank you.
What?
You're paying for somebody.
He got the call wrong. Connor was the one who was
John,
wrong.
let the man make his point.
He's wrong though.
You pay for somebody to do their job right and probably not be an a-hole, and that guy was probably not cool about it. Connor,
Anthony, the official got the call right.
Been thrown out of a game too. 100% agree, Connor.
Oh my God.
Anthony, sometimes if people aren't doing their job, you got to
You were wrong, Connor. You were the one who was wrong. The official just told you had it wrong.
Agree to disagree.
What do you mean? He's the official. He understands the rules. You obviously don't.
You can disagree with the. If you're going to tell me I don't understand the rules better than that guy, listen.
Then
you
the
can say
official?
yeah, that guy sucked.
No,
John.
the guy who called, you had the rule wrong. The way you described the play and how you said it went down, you were wrong.
That guy sucked. So
No,
whether or
you
not
were wrong.
Whether or not you want to say that call, technically by
we're going back to another
by
call
the
then
letter
that he
of the
says.
law that someone called in on because they ref high school is now I'm completely wrong without seeing the play. Either of you guys.
You told us the play.
I watched the play.
You displayed it in your favor, and you were wrong.
That's a kickball 10 times out of 10.
That is not a kickball.
Now I'm going to get ejected from the show. I'm not
Yeah, you
arguing
are.
this
Believe me,
anymore.
you're this close. You are this close. We'll see if the official steps in on that one.
Team up.
A new stadium? Maybe. John Kincade Show. Connor, I'll let you know on my own phone. You have gotten some support from some of my friends.
Oh, really?
Who say that you can lose your temper at times over something stupid. But, so they have your back on that. They do think that it's where you lost your temper was sort of out of bounds. But they understand people can lose their temper in a parking lot sometime and going nutty.
Yeah, that's the other
thing.
thing.
And doing nutty.
This is how I always kind of defend my sports anger because it's the only thing that gets me jazzed up.
Because you're not angry otherwise.
And that's it.
You aren't.
I let it out in a controlled environment. It's never violence. I'm never fighting anybody.
And you're kind. You tend to be a kind person.
This wasn't as kind, but 99% of my life I'm kind. So if I let it out by yelling at an official and then I walk out of the building, that's okay. I don't have any issue with myself personally for doing that.
What if that official afterwards was feeling so terrible, drowned their sorrows, and then something happened to them?
This is getting dark. Are you
just
kidding
saying?
me?
I'm just saying.
What if he picked up the little bottle of hooch and said,
never know.
"Man, that kid was mean to me."
And then he gets behind. Then he
me a
gets
drink.
Then he
My
gets
eye
behind the
hurts.
wheel, and something happens. I'm just saying. Hey, kick off summer with a beautiful new kitchen designed just for you. You can get some help from Colonial Marble and Granite. Visit colonialmarble.net today.
It's like when Kramer gets in the argument on the golf course with the guy,
and he does,
and then the guy goes and kills the dry cleaner. Maybe you were that.
Maybe you were the instigator to that murder.
It's a bad day to be a dry cleaner.
Hey, Connor, what have the Phillies done differently during the winning streak? You say it's something different.
Yeah, it has to be.
But
right?
they're not hitting, so I can't wait to hear what this is.
Right, so it's got to be the obvious thing. Like, the biggest clear difference has been that they've gotten starting pitching. And I don't know that I've ever seen a more dominant 3-game series starting pitching-wise, than what we just saw against the Detroit Tigers. I mean, we had no-hit bids in all 3 of the games. When does that ever happen?
Was it a product of how crappy the Tigers are offensively, or do you think it was the dominant pitching?
I think it was a little bit of both. It's probably more the Tigers than it is what the Phillies were able to do, because that team is just terrible. But think about it. You played Washington. You didn't exactly look great on the mound against them. I mean, Wheeler got touched. Bad teams can still hit you around. The A's have wins this year, so credit deserves to go both ways. But you're right, John. The offense hasn't been all that good.
God, it was terrible in the Tigers series.
And I don't know how much of that you put on the air quality, right? Not that they can't breathe. But you remember how in the NLCS against San Diego, they constantly talked about this marine layer that comes over the park at a certain time of night where the air gets really heavy, the ball doesn't fly. There were plenty of balls hit that were like warning track, deep left field, deep center field that, I don't know, maybe on a normal summer day are out and there's more offense that way.
Did the smoke keep people from being able to hit clutch singles?
No, not at all. That's I know it's not all smoke. I'm just saying there's other factors in here. It was kind of a weird series to begin with. But yeah, I look at the pitching and I say that's a really, really great sign for this Phillies team, because I'd be more worried if the pitching wasn't there than if the offense wasn't there. I think Jamie said that earlier, that the pitching is their bread and butter.
Yeah, you need pitching.
So that change to me is the biggest difference. And if they can keep that going, it doesn't matter if you're playing the Tigers, the Dodgers, the Braves, anybody.
Yeah,
you can compete.
I have more confidence that the offense will come around and stabilize more than I do the pitching right now. So if I can get the pitching to stabilize,
then it really is a help.
I mean, this bullpen's great. Alvarado should be back, I guess, tonight or tomorrow. He's supposed to be ready for this series. Kimbrel outside of last night has been spectacular.
Yeah, Kimbrel was just a little struggle last night. I don't blame him for that.
Yeah, but it appears, he was that Brad Lidge, bad year, down year, good year, bad year.
You're getting a good year.
It appears you're getting one of the good years, which is great. So I think everything's there for this team to put it together and make a run, but it all starts with the starting pitching.
Yeah. Does the offense worry you guys? Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
What you saw in the Tiger series, you're looking
Trey
at
Turner's still.
Yeah, I need Turner to come out of it. It looks like Schwarber and Real Muto have.
Trey Turner's as lost as Castellanos was last year.
Yeah, he's like a car with a dead battery, but now you're at least getting the engine to kind of like click a little bit. The 2 home runs is like, okay, there's signs of life. I don't need a whole new battery. I just need a jump. He's getting closer.
Okay. Jamie, I want to get your thoughts on this right now. First off, quick thought. What year is this for the Phillies in Citizens Bank Park?
It's like 20, isn't it?
It's 20.
Wow.
How about the Birds in this year in the Link?
They're going on close to a quarter century.
21 for the Birds.
Okay.
21. That's when
they were both within a year of each other. I forget
crazy.
that.
It's when both. It is though getting to the point where this is where quarter century is where cities start to.
What was the vet? Like 26 years?
71 to 2002. So 31 years.
31 years. So 10 more.
I mean, honestly, this is the time where we're going to start to talk about this kind of stuff going on. You know,
yeah,
now,
I would imagine in the next 5 years, a proposal or something comes
Did you
up.
see what Comcast wants to do?
No, I haven't.
They want to build a hotel and entertainment little complex right near the stadiums.
I'm shocked it hasn't been. Well, live happened, but I'm shocked it hasn't.
Live's always been there's the Holiday Inn.
Yeah,
right? I mean,
I'm
sort of that
shocked it hasn't happened yet.
I can't believe what's the holdup? Why was this never done before?
Yeah, I'm surprised the old Spectrum grounds wasn't turned into a whole
entertainment complex,
bigger Xfinity Live, like a little mini city.
Well, they were talking about the hotel potentially on reading some of the stuff could go right there where Xfinity Live is, and then they expand Xfinity Live.
Yeah,
bring it around.
I'd love that,
and put a hotel there.
Yeah,
which I think for visiting fans.
Like, did you ever? You've been to Glendale, right?
Yes.
And like outside there, they have that mall outdoor area with all the different bars and restaurants. It's really cool.
We wish you had made the trip with us this year.
Yeah, I'd been there in the past like a bunch of times, and it's a really cool complex. That's kind of what I envision for the future of down there.
I would hope that they do something like that.
Yeah.
But Jacksonville unveiled their revamped home stadium renovation.
Saw the pictures of this.
Looks amazing.
Yeah.
And
it
by
looks
the way,
like the Ram Stadium.
That stadium's a dump.
Yes.
I would be there every year for a Georgia-Florida game. And
the world's largest cocktail party.
Outdoor cocktail.
Outdoor.
Yeah, I got to use that. And then the Bills just broke ground on a brand new stadium that somehow they're not putting a roof on.
Yeah,
like a roof that could open or close.
Yeah, I don't get that. I guess they love the
Buffalo. I mean,
they love it as home field advantage, I guess.
But are you thinking at all about would you rather see a new link, or would you rather see the link reimagined like they're going to do in Jacksonville, where they're building these absolutely, I mean, it's going to be gorgeous. And one of the things that they're doing is expanding like a partial roof on the stadium, where around half the open area above that right now is open above the field would now be covered with canopy for rain, for snow.
Kind of like how whatever it's called in Seattle, I think they're CenturyLink or
CenturyLink.
Kind of like how it domes halfway.
And
I always found the link clunky in that I hate how you can't get around the upper level fluidly.
I love the link, though.
I do like the link.
I love the sight lines.
I think it's hard to get around.
I would agree with you. Like, you can't, like, if you wanted to go you had a buddy on the other side.
Sometimes you have to go down to go back up. And
that's crazy.
That's a time killer if you're trying to meet somebody.
I understand. I was told by somebody who I think knows a lot about how they built that place that was completely by design.
What, they don't want commingling?
Yes.
The 700 level was too rowdy back in the day.
They didn't want riffraff.
The bone zone. People were smoking too many bones.
Messing with the high-priced season ticket holders. That there was by design that was the way it was created.
Doesn't shock me
Make it as cumbersome as possible for people to be able to move around. And by the way, you can't. It's very difficult. That's a tough stadium. You can't move around if you don't have a ticket.
No.
Like if you're trying to move down to a better seat. No. Oh, I got cheap seats. You can't move in the link.
That's probably not you're right. That's probably not the worst thing for stadium personnel, but it's annoying for
me, the paying spectator.
Yeah, I got you. I don't know. I just don't look at the link as the same.
It wasn't as outdated as the vet.
Right, and it's not as.
Do you remember the vet?
Yeah. A little bit. I remember I watched from the Naval Yard on the day it was imploded because my dad worked in one of those buildings and we sat on the roof.
So you watched up there and watched?
Yeah, we sat on the roof. It was crazy.
I absolutely will never forget the death march out of that building after the Tampa Bay NFC title game. It was the quietest shuffling of people that I've ever heard in my entire life. That scarred me. I talked about it yesterday. That loss has scarred me.
Anthony's talked about how quiet it was.
But it was a death march. From the time Rondé Barber took the ball, which, by the way, he was running back towards where I was seated, that end zone. And as Rondé Barber intercepts that ball, I swear it took him 20 minutes to run to get to us. And people were just, it was in complete shock the way that whole thing went down. But that building, if they told you right now,
The Link over Citizens Bank. Is that where you're going?
yes.
Yeah, I think Citizens Bank is way cooler.
I love Citizens Bank. I think Citizens Bank is a more cool venue than the Link.
Yeah, I like them both, though. I mean, the Jaguar Stadium was like your poor friend's place with the above-ground pool, and you're just like, it's kind of fun because they have a pool, but there shouldn't be a pool here.
Well, they're not tearing it down. They're just
I know, but it needed to be fixed up. The Link is a nice place, and I think newer stadiums like.
But if you had to choose one,
it's the Link.
Well,
easy.
it's the Link.
It's kind of sterile to me.
Right? Yeah.
I don't know.
It doesn't feel like the one thing about
It's
the
not
Link.
bad. It's just kind of like,
It doesn't feel like the Eagles to me.
Yeah, Citizens Bank Park has character.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like the Link is just kind of a building.
You know what the Phillies did? The Philly Fanatic has put up his favorite poster. And it's very much when you walk in the doors of Citizens Bank Park, you know you're in the Phillies' home much more than you know you're in the Eagles' home when you're in the Link.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to me, that's a major thing, and I'm surprised that that's the case. I'm surprised you wouldn't make your stadium feel like it is your place.
Yeah.
It's not generic in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. The only Eagles-centric thing I can think about with the Link is the big banner outside that you can see from 95.
And even those, it's just like, you can kind of tell who the players are, but they keep it blurry and it's just like general football stadium.
Like, do you remember where they hid the Lombardi Trophy where you can go and get your picture taken with the Lombardi Trophy?
No.
They hid it up in the upper,
I've never seen it.
It's in the.
I've seen the Lombardi,
it's on
but
display.
not in the stadium.
No, they have a giant Lombardi that you can go get your picture taken with.
It's a trophy,
and
with
it is
a football.
but it is a, but it is a. No, it's probably like 10 feet, 15 feet tall.
Oh, I didn't even know this existed.
No,
yeah, it exists behind one of the back end zone crow nest seats. I think it's section like C11. But you'd have to stumble on it or know that it was there to go get your picture taken there. We've had pictures taken there, but not because we sat in that crow's nest before.
Yeah, I'm not anti-Link, but
no, I'm not either.
We're just saying that a team like the Eagles in a city like Philadelphia
should be better.
Exactly.
Hey, bet Pro Hoops, bet the finals. Bet the Stanley Cup Finals. Bet more on the BetParx Casino and Sportsbook app, the official sportsbook partner of the Real Philly Sports Fan. You got to be 21 in Pennsylvania, New Jersey. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And I'll be at the BetParx tomorrow from 12 to 3 out in Malvern. The race and sportsbook inside the Chickies there. So come on by.
Malvernia.
Met some great listeners last week.
I'm only like 6 miles to there.
Oh,
so maybe I'll come by, have lunch or something like that. This is like the weekend for me because with chemo starting Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
I know next weekend's going to be in the crapper. So whatever chemo week is going to be.
What are you doing? You grilling? You relaxing?
The girls are taking me out. We decided to do
a little dinner out.
We decided to do after church Saturday. We decided to go to Father's Day dinner that night.
Nice.
Because Father's Day I'm probably going to be, crapped out on the couch or in bed or whatever.
So what are you craving?
We're doing a little Pietro's tomorrow night.
Is that
great steakhouse in Westchester?
Okay. Nice.
Pietro's Prime, really good spot, great bar.
What's your go-to cut of meat?
I would. I don't know what that what's my favorite
down.
is? Nobody knows what my favorite cut of meat is.
Well, tell all of us.
The Spinellis.
What?
The Spinellis.
I don't know that.
Google it, Jamie. And then
I don't
thank
think you should
me
on
later.
a work computer.
Spinells. It's the Spinellis.
That sounds like a phone Google.
Coach, you're a chef. Is that like a ribeye?
The cap of the ribeye.
It's the cap of the ribeye.
Oh, all right. I mean, ribeye is my favorite, so this sounds right up my alley.
Okay, the Spinellis is very tender.
It's the most
delicious.
flavorful, most marbled, and most tender part of a ribeye. So you got my attention.
And if they've got it tomorrow night at Pietro's, it will be a Spinellis with a little Caesar salad.
Says the only issue with it is it's a little hard to find.
Coach, can you prepare the Spinellis for us?
You might want to call ahead, John.
I'm going either way.
No, I mean you call ahead to make sure they have it.
Oh, I don't care either way. I'm going to Pietro's.
Gotcha.
I'm going to go either way.
Now I'm looking at these pictures of Spinellas online.
It's delicious.
Google Images, not safe for work.
And it's
Get a
not
little
like,
meat horny
and you know
over
how,
there.
well, you know how you eat it. You know how you eat a ribeye. If you order a ribeye, sometimes, and afterwards you feel like you ate a lot.
Yeah.
Like it's got the Spinellis. is almost like a fillet cut.
A smaller,
of that.
tender cut.
It's great.
Okay.
So really good.
I'm sold.
So I'm going to try to do that.
We'll see you for dinner.
Because I'm thinking that.
So me and Connor should be there at what time?
Yeah.
We'll crash.
Well, I can
we'll
tell you,
crash your
too.
Father's Day
It's
dinner.
like the
Is there
one
a
of the
valet or will you park it for us?
No, find parking. There's a parking garage right there in Westchester. So, but like, they're like, you're going to want to eat. A lot of people who have done FU5, which I'm going to be doing, live on smoothies. So the other day I went into the Smoothie King. And by the way, great staff of people up there at the Smoothie King in Westchester, right on Newtown in Westchester Pike. But I walked in. It is the most confusing menu I have ever seen in my life. Have you ever looked at
Not
Smoothie
really.
Kings?
I know
don't really
Smoothie King Arena.
No, the Smoothie King is like, there's like, they'll list like 8 smoothies up because I'm not used to the place. So I'm going in, okay, I better get used to this. This place looks like I'm going to be living on, like, because you don't want to eat solid food sometimes.
Right.
And I look at the menu and I can't figure anything out. I'm like, wait a minute, there's 10 ingredients in the one that, like, there's a headline. I'm like, okay, I like 7 of the ingredients. I hate 3. And then I go to the next one. I'm like, okay, I like 75% of the ingredients. I don't like those. And I'm like, oh, we could take anything out for you that you want. I'm like, you guys have a drive-through. I'm like, how can anybody go to a drive-through when there's like 12 ingredients? And I guarantee you there's something in it you don't want.
Yeah, probably.
And they don't have make your own.
They don't?
No, it's not like you don't have a make your own. You can take away from ones that they got, but you don't just go, okay, add these. I want these 7 ingredients, make me a smoothie.
Okay.
So they don't do that.
I don't know. It might surprise you. I don't think Jamie or I are big smoothie guys.
Oh, I love smoothies.
Are you?
See, I thought he did. Yeah, Jamie, you
No,
make
but I don't
them,
ever
though.
get them.
But you make them, though, didn't you, at one time?
So do you like them or not?
Yeah, I had a smoothie phase where I was making them at home.
Was it you or Coach that has the... Do you have the Coach? Do you have the thing that makes them?
A blender?
No, the
not
Vitamax.
there's like a
The Vitamax
special-
is like $1,000.
Somebody at this station has one of those.
Salchunas
because
probably.
I've heard it talked about.
Salchunas makes smoothies
I got the
all
Ninja,
time.
the cheapie.
The cheapie Ninja.
Knock
Coach,
off
can you make a
blender.
smoothie at home, like other than just a normal blender?
I have the Ninja too.
The
Yeah,
Ninja.
it's
Okay.
good.
I think Salchunas has one.
The Vitamaxes are like $1,000. They're like outrageous.
But I thought, like, it's just, okay, give me blueberries, strawberries.
You know what's weird about me with smoothies? I love bananas in a smoothie.
I hate banana.
I love the flavor of bananas, but I hate an actual banana.
I agree with you.
See, now I love bananas and hate the flavor of banana in anything.
Huh. That's, we're polar opposites.
Exactly.
In banana land.
Exactly opposite.
This is bananas.
Hey, I mean, that's the way.
B-A-N-A-N-A-S.
Mike in South Jersey's checking in. Mike, you got something on this for us?
Yo, Johnny, how you doing, buddy?
Good, Mike. What's going on, buddy?
Prayers and everything.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you big time.
And everything like that. I just wanted to tell you, listen, you go to Smoothie King,
Okay.
you get a gladiator, okay?
A gladiator. That sounds like it would have a ton of stuff in it.
No, dude, listen, you pick 2 fruits, so I go strawberry, banana,
Okay.
and then you add the peanut butter.
All right, but it's
Add
not
the
Jif.
Peanut butter for your... Yeah,
Hey.
but then you also get an option for the flavored protein. You can either go chocolate or vanilla.
Okay, well, that's not bad. That's not bad. The thing
And
is, though,
it's not...
what's it taste? Does it taste like a milkshake or something? Because I had them make me one. I had them make me one the other day, and it was delicious.
Yeah, they're very good, and I think that you just need to dumb it down a little bit, and then you get crazy. Even though you don't like it, it might be a little bit better blended.
All right. I'm good at dumbing stuff down, as you know, if you listen to this show, Mike.
Nah, you guys are the best. You're the best. And,
Thank you, Mikey.
And keep rocking.
I
rocking.
appreciate
I can't wait for FanFest. Dude.
I can't wait for FanFest. Hey, do you have your tickets yet?
No, I didn't
You
get
do
it.
now. You do now.
The smoothie tip.
Nah.
You get some
Wow.
tickets.
Let's put in. Let's take care of Mike. And look, Statman Arks back there. He'll take care of Mike and make sure that Mike gets some FanFest tickets for FanFest 2023. It is the 10-year anniversary event. Connor, have you figured this out? Like, I mean, because of the...
Figured what out?
Well, I mean, I can't be in the direct sun, and heat's going to be a real problem. Like, I mean, it's like you said the other day, like a Pope mobile.
Yeah.
Or something, maybe a.
I'm
maybe,
good with that. Like
maybe
tinted.
like the older Asian women in Disney World that carry the parasols.
No, I don't see you as a parasol guy.
Are they gonna do that, like the penguin from Batman?
No, I'm thinking more. Have you ever seen those big inflatable things that you step inside and you run into each other to play like bubble soccer?
Okay.
I like you in one of those.
In one of those?
Yeah.
I'm thinking more is that I'm going to say to Coach, just get me in as much air conditioning for FanFest as I can do.
We'll stick a little fan in the bubble soccer thing for you.
Coach, FanFest is going to be absolutely awesome. FanFest 2023 with FanDuel Sportsbook, Saturday, August 26th from 11 to 5 at Xfinity Live.
We decided to go a little bit earlier than normal because normally the times we went for is from 1 to 5, but we're going 11, and there's a reason why. Because we have 2 national recording artists that are going to be performing.
You can tell us one of them.
I can tell you one.
You got Yanni?
Yanni.
Celine Dion is coming to FanFest?
Handsome.
That's not.
Handsome.
Oh, come on. Ray Shermard. I'm pronouncing that name correctly.
You are pronouncing it correctly.
Hip-hop group, and they will be there as the opening act. And we are going to have a headliner as well that we're going to announce soon. And as I said the other day when we made the announcement about FanFest, when we tell you who the opening act is, it is going to freak people out.
Yes, I was.
And I do believe
I
it's
was impressed.
I can tell you I have a 19-year-old, and she absolutely is impressed that this was swung by 97.5 The Fanatic and our friends at FanDuel Sportsbook.
Yeah, it's going to be unbelievable.
She was very impressed.
You guys know? Coach won't tell me.
Well, they didn't even tell me FanFest was going to be announced. They announced it a day when I'm having a medical procedure.
He's so secretive.
told you
Connor
the next
keeps
day.
everything. Yeah, the next day I got a memo.
Yeah.
No, I got the email from the Fanatic fan club.
Yeah, exactly. We told you.
By an email.
Exactly.
I mean, seriously.
You got plenty of time still. Couple months.
Amazing. I'm going to play a game with everybody next. It's called Threat, Nuisance, or Nothing. You can play along in your car, too. John Kincade Show on 97.5 The Fanatic.
The Fanatic. Now, back to the John Kincade Show on 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Heading up towards the 8 o'clock hour of the John Kincade Show on 97.5 The Fanatic. Thanks to the Bet Parks Casino and Sportsbook app. Jamie Lynch is here today.
Yes, thank you, Bet Parks.
The official sportsbook partner of the Real Philly sports fan. You got to be 21 in Pennsylvania, New Jersey. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Your podcast, which everybody can track down through Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, Daily Odds Pod is out. It's there
a great
for you.
logo, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. Monday through Friday, little daily minute, all-encompassing podcast, a little bit through a gambling prism, but I don't hit you over the head with it.
No, but you give some nice. One thing you do though is you commit to where you're leaning.
Yeah,
like you and I are leaning differently in Game 4 tonight.
Yeah, and you're probably right because I was driving in this morning and I was like, the Heat. Every time I kind of count them out a little bit, they kind of punch back. And this is a punch back situation for them.
I haven't checked the line on the Bet Parks app yet.
It was 3.5 earlier when I looked.
I may alternate line it.
Oh yeah,
and move it up to like 5.5.
Okay.
I'm confident the Heat put on a show tonight.
Yeah, I saw an absolutely incredible Jokic stat yesterday. So it was NBA University. Do you follow them?
Yeah, I do follow them.
They put out a stat of the NBA's strongest duos. It was the top assist combinations in the NBA.
Okay.
And Harden and Embiid won by like 90, which is great, obviously. But
that'll keep me warm all summer long.
Yeah, that's not the thing that jumped out to me. They did the top 20 combinations in the league.
Okay.
The thing that jumped out to me is Jokic is a part of 4 of the top 20 combinations.
Jesus. Okay, that's wild.
So number 2 on the list is Jokic to Gordon. Number 3, tied for 3rd on the list, is Murray to Jokic. Number 13 on the list is Jokic to Michael Porter. And number 18 on the list is Jokic to Kentavious Caldwell-Pope.
That's incredible.
He's a part of 4 of the top 20 assist combinations in the NBA. That's absurd.
And he's making other people better.
I mean, clearly.
He's a pass merchant.
That's incredible.
Tell me more about his VORP over there, stat boy.
That's a great stat.
I saw the Harden and Embiid thing, and people were, taking that and running with it. And then I went down the list, and I was like, wait, that's not the story here.
No, you're missing the story.
The story is Jokic being a part of 4 different combinations.
Don't tell him the Ringer just called you.
All right, Siri's just offered a position.
Unbelievable.
I want to play a little game with you regarding the Philadelphia Eagles and the rest of the NFC. I'm going to call it threat, nuisance, nothing.
Like this.
Okay? You got to put the team that I give you in the appropriate column. Threat, nuisance, nothing.
All right. Threat, nuisance, nothing. I can
very
remember
simple.
this.
So you're playing this along here.
I'm just going to read it over and over.
Okay. Threat, nuisance, nothing.
All right.
Dallas Cowboys to the Eagles. This is all in regard to the Eagles. Threat, nuisance, nothing.
I mean, at worst, they're a nuisance. I want to say threat.
I say threat.
Yeah, I'm going to go threat too.
Well, we all say threat.
Yeah. If they're not, then there's not going to be a lot.
Yeah, there's not a lot of threats in the NFC.
I do see them as a threat.
Yeah, I'll give them threat.
I mean, they're a 12-win team last year.
Yeah, they're not terrible.
They are the Sixers of the NFL. They can win a lot of regular season games and talk a lot, and then
threat in the regular season, nothing in the postseason.
Dez did catch it though.
All right, he did catch that
with your logic.
He caught that.
No, he didn't.
All right, threat, nuisance, nothing. The New York Giants.
Nuisance at best.
Nothing.
I say nuisance.
Nothing.
The Eagles, specific to the Eagles or to the
the Eagles.
Then nothing because they dominate the Giants.
Wow.
But they're they're potentially a nuisance.
Nothing. Connor, you say nothing with disdain.
No, I'll go nuisance. I
say nuisance.
Because Dayball, I think, takes them to
and
nuisance.
I love Darren Waller. I think that's going to help. I think that's going to help Daniel Jones so much. I think he's a great tight end, and I think it's a great safety net for him.
Is there a low-end nuisance and a high-end nuisance?
No, it's just nuisance. Threat, nuisance, nothing.
Do you want here?
Washington Commanders?
Nothing.
Okay, we all agree on nothing.
Sam Howell?
I don't think he's going to be atrocious.
I mean, he could be okay, but even if he's at his best, there's still nothing.
It shouldn't be. All right, let's wander out to the NFC West. And I'll give you a team that obviously could potentially be an issue. The San Francisco 49ers. I think it's the easiest one on the board that they're the threat.
They're the second in terms of odds behind the Eagles.
Okay.
Threat.
Now, when you look otherwise, Seattle Seahawks.
Nuisance.
Nuisance.
Yeah, sure. I'll go nuisance on
But
that.
I also don't believe Geno can necessarily do it again. I have to see that first with my eyes.
Rams, Cardinals.
Nothing.
Nothing.
And nothing.
Nothing and nothing.
Yeah.
Two of the worst teams. This is my concern, though, is that the 49ers could fatten themselves up on that. I believe Rams, Cardinals will be two of the top 3 draft picks next year.
Possible.
I think they are two of the worst teams in football in the same division. And I worry about that giving the 49ers home field advantage in the NFC title game. I think they're a really good team.
Who's their quarterback?
Who, 49ers?
Yeah.
Well,
Purdy's, they're saying
it'll be
probably
Purdy maybe
missing in,
October?
6 weeks or so.
October or something?
I mean, then you're talking Sam Darnold versus Trey Lance.
I don't care. I think they can win 4 out of 6 games.
Yeah, they probably can.
Or 5 out of 6 games.
But again, Brock Purdy, even if he comes back, like all their eggs are in his basket. Did you see enough from him really to go?
Right. We're talking about Geno Smith. If he can't repeat it like Brock Purdy.
Like Jalen Hurts is so clearly better than the rest of the NFC. It's not going to give me any worries.
Okay.
Dak might be the second best in the NFC.
No, I think he very well might be.
He probably is.
Let's do NFC South. The New Orleans Saints. Nuisance. They beat you here.
Derek Carr's the best quarterback they've had in a long time.
They beat you in your stadium.
I'll settle
last
with nuisance.
year.
Yeah, I'll go nuisance.
Now they beat you without Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, anything like that is just invalidated.
Beat you with a quarterback that was, that kind of tries to look.
Carr's solid. He's not going to, keep you up at night. But
I think they're a nuisance team.
Yeah, definitely nuisance.
The Atlanta Falcons.
No, nothing.
Nothing.
I say nuisance.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be. I think they've got a nice
with the Cincinnati kid.
I think they get some really nice pieces that they're not going to ask Desmond Ridder to do a lot. Remember when Johnson running the show. By the way, I still can't get over that a guy who's an NFL coach is an heir.
I know
for like $400 or $500 million.
If I was an heir for that, there's no chance. And this is
that you're grinding in the NFL and doing.
I'm golfing every day.
Yeah,
I'm
I'd
on
be
a
playing
beach.
Madden. I'll be coaching on Madden.
I'm on
ayahuasca and mushrooms.
Now, reportedly, though,
quarterbacks do that still.
But reportedly, Dad said no dice.
Yeah,
you have a full-time job. You're going to be either full-time job here or doing something else. And he goes,
"You better watch the rat poison doesn't find its way to your coffee, Dad."
That's terrible. That's really terrible. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Nothing. Carolina Panthers.
I'm
saying nothing this year.
They're nothing, but they could be elevated to a nuisance.
They could be.
Yeah,
but I'm saying
really.
nothing
They're
right now.
top end of the nothing scale.
Yeah.
Minnesota Vikings.
Nuisance.
You got a nuisance in your own home with your family.
No Dalvin Cook.
I say nuisance Minnesota Vikings.
As long as they got Jefferson and a guy who can kind of get him the ball, they're going to be a nuisance.
I'll keep them at nuisance just because the NFC is pretty weak.
Green Bay Packers?
Nothing.
And that's. I mean, I'm confident with the nothing. Chicago Bears.
Nuisance for sure.
Yeah, I'll settle them in a nuisance.
I'll say nuisance. Because that was a weird game last year in Chicago, too. It was tight.
Fields I'm telling you, that guy's a problem. If he takes a huge step this year.
Well, if he takes a Jalen Hurts type step.
Like, they're winning that division, and they're going to be a double-digit win team.
No, they aren't. Because the next team is. The Detroit Lions. Threat.
Yeah.
Threat.
Nuisance.
I think they're a low-end threat.
Nuisance.
I put them at threat.
I look at the quarterback.
So we just said Dallas 49ers. You don't even put them as a threat. So you only have Dallas and the 49ers as threats.
Yep, those are my only two.
And Jamie and I go Dallas 49ers Lions as the only threats. This is weird.
The NFC's weak.
But it's weird.
Well, I'm a big quarterback-centric guy, and we talked about it. Dak might be the next best guy in the NFC.
I think you really are selling Jared Goff way short.
No.
I really do.
I'm not worried about Jared Goff.
Like, he's not that far off Kirk Cousins to me.
I mean,
and I'm not that worried about Kirk Cousins.
No, I think he's more dangerous than Kirk Cousins. I think that team is much more dangerous.
Who's he throwing the ball to? I mean, I'm more worried about Justin Jefferson than anyone.
I'm on Ron St. Brown.
Yeah. I mean, he's a nice player.
And they have Jamison Williams, and they have don't they have another young kid as well? I got to check that out.
There is, and they had some players that were suspended for gambling, right?
Yeah, a couple, I think.
I mean, The idea that, as we tell you, the Bet Park Sportsbook app.
Marvin Jones is there.
Seriously.
It's an okay wide receiver.
I think they're a threat.
I'll keep them
You
low
almost
threat.
lost the opening game there last year.
I think they're like an 8-win team. That's a nuisance to me.
They were an 8-win team last year, or a 9-win team last year.
I think Jared Goff is that middle-of-the-road guy.
Did you see what Big V said about coming back? He said he mulled retirement, but he said because of his teammates, quarterback, and the kind of swelling optimism in Detroit that he came back for his teammates.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him, too. I'm sure the payday didn't hurt.
No, probably not.
I like Big V.
Yeah, how could you not love Big V?
Well, I mean, it's part of the history and the lore of this town. That, a guy who I think always sort of overachieved.
Yeah, definitely.
As far as to do what he did. Can you imagine that? And Jason Peters didn't get to be a part of that.
Yeah.
And there were other times Jason Peters decided not to be a part of it.
Nah, he got a ring.
Can I point out something ridiculous from Eagles
No,
OTAs
you can't.
yesterday?
You're not allowed.
The fact that Nick Sirianni even had to address DeAndre Hopkins as a potential.
Why does this keep coming up? Why does it keep coming up?
Why? Why do we have to ask
you know what?
unrealistic
we have
situations?
hot take people in local sports
I
media.
mean, you have perhaps
that
the
is
best
hot take
I
media.
don't think it's them. Listen, if you're them and you know a large portion of your readership or listenership or whatever it is obsessed with DeAndre Hopkins or any big name free agent,
I guess, but like
you don't
why?
harp on it, but you might have to write the story.
I mean, the Eagles and the Dolphins and the Bengals probably have the 3 best wide receiver rooms in football.
I agree. I
And
don't
by
think
the
it's
way,
the right move.
I think a declining asset.
So the bid just came. The reason I'm thinking
He's a hell of a player
Ian,
and a
he's
hell of
not
a
getting
career,
better.
but he is a declining asset.
The Ian Rappaport just said that he's visiting the Patriots next week, and he visited
Good, let
the
him go there.
Titans
We have
today.
to face him open.
But I was shocked that Nick Sirianni was asked about it.
I can't believe people are asking him about that.
Like, are we going to ask him about Dalvin Cook today?
That seems like maybe it's someone who's writing a story like why he won't fit or why you don't need him and just
Maybe.
wanted a
But it
quote
would-
from Sirianni.
But it would be just as dumb as asking him today. Are you guys interested in Dalvin Cook?
What do you want
It'd
me
be
to
the
cut
same
Kenny
thing.
Gainwell?
You have a weaker running back room than you do wide receiver room.
And your running back room is pretty good.
Your running back room's pretty good, but it's weaker than your wide receiver room.
Yeah, but people see Quez Watkins as kind of a
Sure,
question
I'd love to
mark at
upgrade
three.
that.
Yeah, it'd be great
Right.
to upgrade if you had
But
no
it's not gonna
salary
be
cap.
DeAndre Hopkins.
I agree. Listen,
It's
I'll
ridiculous.
play a devil's advocate for why the question might have been asked. I
I
think it's
guess.
a dumb thought, though.
Hey, Lou in Bethlehem joins us on the Fanatic. Lou, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, thanks for taking my call so soon.
Glad to have you on, man. What's going on?
You think the Lions are a threat, man?
Yes.
Really?
In the NFC, I think they are one of the
NFC sucks.
the NFC's weak, and I think they are one of the ascending teams in the NFC, as we saw last season.
You recall week 1, it was DeAndre Swift who kind of, was an annoyance, and he's on our team now, so I'm not so sure. I mean, are you really giving Jared Goff that much credit?
They got Jamar Gibbs too, who's a pretty good young. Should be pretty good young.
I'm certainly not. I do not think Jared Goff's another one of those guys that I do not consider him to be horrible. Like I don't think he's a guy who's already been to a Super Bowl. Remember, he has already quarterbacked the team to a Super Bowl. I mean, people make him out like he's trash. It's ridiculous. I think the Lions are an ascending team, Lou.
Yes, they are, but I don't consider them a threat.
So who are your threats? Dallas 49ers and anybody else? Or do Dallas and the 49ers make your list?
Dallas is merely a nuisance. I like your Bears theory.
The Bears one. That was Jamie and Connor were more on that. Connor's big on that one. Thank you, Lewis. Appreciate it, buddy.
Jared Goff is what the kids these days would call mid.
So I just pulled up the Bet Parks futures for conference. Eagles won at plus 300. 49ers are second, plus 400.
400.
Cowboys plus 650 are third, and the Detroit Lions are fourth at plus 900.
I think the Lions are right. I honestly do. I think that they are
and then
an
you go
ascending
Saints,
team.
Seahawks, Vikings, Giants.
I love the roster in Detroit. I don't love the quarterback. I think he is mid. I don't think you win a lot of games with Jared Goff.
Okay, but you can go to a Super Bowl with Jared Goff.
You went to one. Well, went to two.
No, they went to one with him. With him.
Yeah. But if you think they win the division,
if they win that division,
by theory, they're a threat.
I don't know that they do win that division. I think the Vikings.
You think the Bears win the division?
I think the Vikings, Lions, and Bears beat up on each other. I think those are comparable teams if Justin Fields takes a step, and I think he's going to.
I'll take the. I think the Lions number is 8.5 on the BetParks app. I believe their number's 8.5, and I already will have the Lions for being a double-digit win team. Lions are 10-7 or better this year.
I like that line. I think they're an 8 or 9
They're the favorite to
win
win the division.
Yeah, favorites to win. But, hey, I saw this, Jamie, and I thought of you.
Oh, thanks.
The average American, and, Coach, I want to know where you fall on this because I don't know if you're in or out on this. The average American spends $276 a month on impulse buys, where they an impulse buy meaning you did not leave your home or go to the internet to purchase this item, and then you end up buying it. You end up buying something else you didn't go buy. So you go into a store and you buy something you didn't expect to buy.
Oh, that's every Target run.
You go into a supermarket, a Target. Okay.
You know what my dumb ass I was like, I don't need a card. I'm just here for 2 things. And then next thing you know, I'm juggling 8, 9 different things.
You look like a monkey.
Yeah, like under my arms and like some in my neck and shoulder, and you look like an idiot. And it's like, just grab the cart.
The average American spending $276 a month on impulse buys. Coach, I thought you and Jamie would go above this.
No.
Because you have younger kids.
Nope, I don't impulse buy.
So you do not.
No.
I mean, do. I'm probably over that number.
On the internet, by the way, is where
Amazon's trouble.
Amazon right now, Amazon itself, of the $276 a month in this study,
I'm probably 100 on Amazon.
The Amazon is accounting for over 60% of it. Online purchases.
It's easy.
Well, I'm not saying Amazon, but 60% is online purchases.
Like the other day I saw for the girls, I was real sick of picking up water balloons out of the grass. So I saw like the reusable magnet water balloons. They're actually pretty cool. They're latex and they just snap together. You put the water balloon together under the water and it just makes a reusable water balloon. And it's great. The girls love them. But like examples like that happen all the time where I'll see it on Instagram or Twitter or something.
You're just like, I gotta have it.
I'm like, that's a great idea. Swipe and it's here tomorrow morning.
Connor, I thought that you and I would fall below this.
Yeah, the last one I did was those stupid sunglasses that I wear for softball, and before that, I can't even think of another one.
And they are stupid.
They're dumb. I'm good for one maybe every 3 or 4 months.
Do you go into Target ever?
Yeah, but I go into Target and I buy like a roll of paper towels and walk out.
Walmart or whatever.
So you do. You always say that. You buy it like when you don't buy like, and you don't even buy bulk.
No, not at all.
He buys no bulk.
I buy like one thing and I walk out. And
you don't really even grocery shop. You get your stuff delivered, don't you?
Correct. I don't impulse buy.
If I go to Costco, I absolutely, like Christina's like, you don't need to go to Costco. Because I will be
I'm fearful of my Costco if I get a Costco membership.
I love buying it. She goes, we didn't build this house for you to fill everything with all your like wartime storage of like, okay, we need another thing of paper towels.
My brother-in-law, we always kind of bust his stones about his Costco runs because like we were over at my sister's kitchen once and she's like, look out for that cabinet. I open it up. There's like a 10-pound bag of rice in there.
And I was like, 10-pound bag of rice?
What the hell are you buying a 10-pound bag of rice for? And he was like, it was a really good deal.
See, now if that was in Haley's place, the rat would already have gotten into it.
Yeah, it'd be a 9-pound bag of rice.
But yeah, I'm pretty bad. Target and Amazon are definitely my big 2 culprits.
Coach, I'm surprised because I thought you would be, because of Cam, you having a young kid, it would be like, hey.
No, I buy for necessity. Now, if you're talking about buying food.
It says supermarkets, any kind of store that you walk into, it would account for anything that you did not go in to buy that you decide, I need this and I'm adding it.
So I go to my Rastelli's around the corner from where I live, and we will go in there for whatever we're going to have for dinner that night. And there might be 1 or 2 things in there that Cam will pull off the shelf that he wants, like ice cream or something. But does that count as impulse buying? Okay.
Yes. Yeah. But the thing is, you would never come close then to the $200 and some a month.
I walked by a Ben & Jerry's sale the other day. They were $2.99 a pint. How am I supposed to say no to that? I'm only a man.
That's a good point.
I'm only human.
What flavor?
My daughter's favorite line
I got Egan's favorite.
My daughter's favorite line was, Dad, you live like you're on welfare. Like, Dad, you never will just buy something.
I'm the same
She's
way.
like, you want something, just buy it. And I'm like, Liv, someday you will understand that you don't do that.
Yeah.
That's not how you try to set yourself up for rainy days.
It was glamping, Connor. It's chocolate marshmallow almond something or other.
Love that.
Pretty good.
Good for you. Listen, does point of clarification, bar tabs don't count as impulse buys.
Yes, they are. Well, yes, it is.
No, that's necessity.
No, a bar tab. No, it's not, because you may go in. You may go in for a drink, and then you may have the extra drink.
Did you ever get a little app? Huh?
What's
little
up?
app?
No, I'm not an appsman. I'm about my business, Jamie. It's 4 tequila sodas, and then see if I want a 5th one.
All right, I got to ask you here, Nick Nurse. Question about Nick Nurse. Gut instinct. Is Nick Nurse or Doc Rivers closer to Larry Brown as an NBA coach?
Doc, because of they're kind of lifers. Like I'm not considering anything else other than like. I could see Nick Nurse being a guy that's like at age, 57, like, I'm good. I got enough money in the world. I won a title. See you later.
I look at Nick Nurse as almost like the Daryl Morey of coaching. Like I could see Nick Nurse going and deciding while he's still a fairly young man, I'm going to go do ESPN.
Yeah, I can see that too. Doc's a lifer.
I look because I'm wondering Larry Brown, would we all agree, is the best coach the Sixers have had since they've been to a championship in 40 years ago?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
And we agree that Doc Rivers is closer to Larry Brown than Nick Nurse is.
Yeah, doesn't make Nick Nurse a bad option.
I'm just saying, like every time we think we're getting the big hire, and Jamie, you didn't get to get in on this the other day. Every day in the city, we think we're hiring the big name, when we win in this town.
It's Doug P. and Nick Sirianni.
It's Doug P. It's Nick Sirianni. It's Andy Reid.
Rob Thompson.
It's cool. Charlie Manuel. It's Rob Thompson. It's not the big hire. Jim Fergosi. It's not whenever we think we're getting the big name guy who's going to come in, I think Nick Nurse would almost be the first one to succeed. He'd be the first one, pretty much.
Listen, you're right.
But that's strange.
It is. And I was just going to say, what do you attribute that to? Like, why is it that big names don't work out here? Because there's other places where you bring in a big name hire and they're as advertised and they go ahead and play out. Like, what is it that those big names don't work in Philly? Is it the pressure of this city that is heaped more on a guy with that type of track record? And when you get more of a no-name guy, maybe they have less expectations. Like, what do you think that is?
Where do you go on that, James?
I do wonder from time to time if us here in not only the media, but just like the fan base and the general expectation of pressure adds to these big names being like, because I think Doc's seen it all, like not that LA's huge and ravenous, but Boston is. And like he's kind of been all around. And even the impression I got from him was like, damn, it's different here.
Oh, but you guys are crazy.
Yeah,
by the way,
you guys are nuts.
LA is not an easy basketball market.
No, they do love their hoops.
It's an easy baseball market. It's an easy football market.
Yeah,
but it's not an easy basketball market.
The impression I got sitting down with Doc Rivers for that one time was kind of like,
this is odd.
Y'all are nuts. You know what I mean? Like in a good way.
In a good way.
I think if you succeed here, it's like, a few other places. But I think I do wonder if we're part of the problem. Not us in the media, just general expectation and ravenousness of the town.
That it just eats you alive.
That it consumes you a little bit, yeah.
I say it now.
And like you second guess yourself almost. Like I do wonder if Rob Thompson's on the bench like, well, I know they want me to run. They've been complaining a lot about me not stealing bases.
You wonder about that.
And I just wonder if that thing creeps into his mind a little bit. They all say the right things, that they don't listen and they don't read and they don't
But
hear,
they all listen.
But they all hear.
And I can tell you, too, is that seeing it through my wife and daughter's eyes, not growing up here, my daughter, my wife not living here until but she always knew she was living with a Philly sports fan.
It's way
But when
more-
she's here, she's like, oh, my God.
It's way more a part of the culture here.
She goes like on a Sunday of Eagles Sunday,
Go
if she
into
goes
an
to the
Acme,
store,
and everybody's
she
wearing
just is like, what's going on? Like, she's like, and everybody.
Yeah.
It's grandma, it's grandpa, it's the little kids, it's all.
I mean, you walk into Acme, they're playing the fight song.
And it's nothing like that. She never
You get
saw
discounts on groceries on Sundays.
10% or something.
Yeah, if you wear your
Right,
Eagles
if you
gear.
wear your Eagles gear.
It's just you can't go
But is
anywhere.
that a problem?
I don't know that it's a problem. There are upsides to it, too. You get a great home court, home field, home ice advantage.
As long as you're performing.
Yeah, it's just weird. Right. It's just weird to me that the big names so consistently would not perform compared to the no names to be Kurt.
Maybe like the no
Who's
names.
Kurt? I don't know who Kurt is.
Maybe the no
Kurt
names
Angle?
don't
Sure.
like. I don't know.
You just don't have the same
pressure's not there.
Exactly. You kind of, no one's like, okay, well, Rob Thompson has to take us to a World Series, but you
Yeah.
bring in Binder Joe, and you're like, okay, well, this guy
This
better
guy's
win
won.
one. Yeah.
And when we bring in those guys, they don't tend to work here.
Yeah.
Because we're nuts. I do have that thought a lot.
Well, we didn't make Joe Girardi fail here.
No.
No.
But we could help contribute.
By the way, you saw the offer that he got from UCF?
I didn't see what it was. I saw
They got a significant. UCF, by the way, is now I think it's the biggest enrollment college university in the country.
Is it really?
The amount of students.
Wow.
I think it's 55,000 undergrads. I mean, it's huge. But they've offered Joe Girardi the head coaching job, the managerial job, because it's a head coach in college. It's a manager in the pros. They call it a head coach in baseball. And they've offered him supposedly a record contract.
Everyone wants to be a Knight.
There you go. It's a fun campus and everything.
Is it? What
Yeah,
is
it's a
that?
fun-
Where is
like
that?
sort of Orlando area.
Central Florida.
Central Florida. That's very good.
I'm doing
Connor.
Florida.
I put it together.
I'd want to be on the coast.
Yeah, give me Miami.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to be in. Here's what you want to be: is that there's not. It's a great campus, but if you're looking for like beach and everything like that,
Yeah.
you want Miami.
Did you see the new study on great whites?
What?
No.
Speaking
what?
of beaches and
Oh, let's
coastal.
get into some shark talk.
So there was a big study done by
Can a shark punch?
No.
UCF, and they did a study on great
Okay.
whites. This will be real quick. They found over a 2-year span that 97% of the time great whites are around human beings, and they show no interest in human beings. The scientists said they were shocked that great whites don't really care about humans.
No, they're not caring about humans, dude. I'm not. I know
So,
you
like,
hate. I
have
know
fun
you hate.
swimming this weekend
You
in
don't
the
like
ocean.
going in the ocean. I
It
love the
bugs
ocean.
me out the older I get.
I don't like
love
the
it.
sharks. No sharks in the pool.
But
Hey.
they're around us all the time.
Coach has a game for the bottom of the hour that we'll all play together, and you can play on this fun Friday with us on the John Kincade Show. But have you heard Stephen A. Smith go off? I believe Stephen A. Smith may have been out of bounds on this one. We'll let you judge for yourself. John Kincade Show here on 90.
97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
John Kincade Show on 97.5 The Fanatic. Appreciate you finding time for us this morning. Tell your family and tell your friends, and get some Colonel Seasons popcorn seasoning while you're at it.
That impulse buy conversation makes me want to buy that popcorn popper.
Wait a minute, it's $12. Buy it.
Well, it's on like a flash sale today, too. It's normally like 18.
It's 12?
Yeah.
Then buy it.
Yeah, I might.
That sounds really good.
It's well worth it, dude.
Yeah, but I don't have the raw kernels. I always just
why don't you just go to the popcorn aisle
I'm
and
going to change
buy
my
them.
buying habits. It's a whole life change. It's a whole lifestyle change.
Stay strong, Jamie.
What's next? I'm an orgy guy, coach. You know, like it's a real slippery slope.
Well, Jamie, you bought the. You finally went to the reusable water balloons.
Yeah,
so you've shown your.
They're great. Anybody with young kids out there, get them. It's like $12, and it's like so much better.
You really love it.
Yeah, we have water balloon fights now regularly.
Okay, so
and you want to giggle? Have a water balloon fight with a 4-year-old.
Oh my God, it's so much fun.
No, they don't hurt, but you feel it.
Yeah. They hurt when Jamie throws them, not when the girls throw them.
Get the Colonel Seasons popcorn seasoning in the popcorn aisle.
Dude, love some good popcorn.
So you can get the coach. That's where you get the raw kernels, right?
Yeah, and they have all different kinds of flavors too of the kernels.
Well, you don't with Colonel Season. You don't have to do that. You can just get the normal ones and then make them any way you want.
Yeah.
They make them any way you want. Now, many of you have not heard what Stephen A. Smith.
I have not.
This is great. I'm so glad that you did not hear it.
He's very entertaining.
Stephen A. Smith, Brick from General Hospital. You know him as Brick.
Sure, of course.
On GH.
Of course we do.
Who doesn't know him as Brick?
He's Brick on General Hospital.
Of course.
You know, you just know him. He is. He was actually talking sports.
On General Hospital?
No, not the Pikeman deal. No, the Pikeman's moving into Port Charles, which is trouble. But he wasn't talking about that. He was talking about sports, but he went off a little bit. I want you to just listen to this through this prism. Did Stephen A. Smith step over a line here with this story about Zion Williamson? Listen.
The name Zion Williamson came up because apparently he's about to be a dad. And the person who's about to make him a new father is not the person that was on social media talking about him. A girl by the name of Mariah Mills calling him out by name, giving vivid details of their encounters with one another. She's a porn star. Man, you only played 29 games last year, and you missed the season before that. What the hell is taking you so long to get healthy? Well, now I know. You're young, you're not married, you can do what you want to do. It's a damn shame she's putting your stuff out like that. Need to cancel her. But there's a bigger issue here. She's a porn star. Well, one would surmise she's kind of an expert at whatever it is she does. You know, I've been waiting for the leg injury to heal, Zion. You've been waiting for a while. I mean, damn, bro. No wonder you ain't healthy. But you can't get healthy. Your lower extremities were compromised.
That is okay.
He's great.
Okay, I laugh the minute he starts into that voice. I just start laughing. But
How do you take that guy seriously?
But I ask you though, is that out of bounds?
I don't think so because she put it out there. She put it out there in way more detail than he did. She's still trending. Yes. She put out other details about
Zion,
about having 2-liter bottles of soda and cans of soda all over his bathroom, and no wonder he's a fat ass. And this and that.
Zion obviously has to work on some other skills too, from what I understand.
She called his junk terrible and trash. She really aired it all out there.
He doesn't work at his game.
Yeah, no,
in the bedroom either. From her scouting report.
I think because
he doesn't like practice. We know that.
I think because she put it out there so aggressively, his is relatively tame, in my opinion, of recapping.
Stephen A?
Yeah.
But the thing is, do you comment on a relationship with that a porn star is calling him out, and obviously he's not debating that it's...
No. I mean, she's got screenshots and lots of stuff.
Yeah, if this was Woj, it's crossing a line.
Yeah, but
if it's Tim Bontemps, it's crossing a line.
Yeah,
Stephen A. has kind of blurred the lines between reporter and entertainer.
Yeah.
And
so really, you look at it that way. You don't believe?
Yeah.
Well, he is quite the entertainer as Brick on General Hospital.
Oh, he is? You never mentioned
But I mean, but I can understand that.
I mean, his job is, while yes, he does have a good sports mind somewhere in there, it's more of entertainment, make a splash, be seen and heard, have people laugh at me.
But is that inbounds? Because he's making fun of. I mean, he's calling out somebody about something that really I'm not sure.
But it's already out there, so it's not like he's bringing it up. He's just kind of reacting to. She's been trending on Twitter now for like 2 days.
She has been.
Yeah, and she keeps going. She's very emotional.
And it's really bad news.
It's not a good look.
It's not good for Zion.
That's tough.
I don't think he crossed the line. No, but that's just my opinion.
Are there worse things you could actually call a man out for? Being a bad lover.
Yeah, I would say
not being sloppy and
being a bad father. I think would be worse.
Looking bad naked. That you don't look good naked. You're a bad lover. I'm trying to think of the things that could those are pretty damning comments.
Yeah, but
she's laying him out
for anybody. No,
she's laying him out.
No, I think the problem is she doesn't want to lay him out.
I bet Zion's
That's
fine.
pretty funny, Connor. I do like that one
because people are probably like, "Oh, Zion's a freak," and I don't believe her. You know,
really?
I bet more people tend to doubt her than believe he's a poor lover.
Do you think that he will? Do you think his
Zion Williamson good and bad?
No, we'll have to ask Graff. We'll have to get Graff on the line.
I think I got a cramp.
We know the broadcaster.
I was just thinking that.
Get Graff on the line to do a little bit of. If he's listening this morning, he does listen.
Graff, you ever done play-by-play off the court for Zion?
I mean, seriously, is that?
Hey,
no, I mean,
is
that really is
territory.
though. That woman has taken him out at the knees.
We know he could get to the hole in the hoop, but
yes, he obviously doesn't have. He doesn't work on his skills.
Yeah, she took him out at the knees a little bit, but he kind of played with fire. So
well, really,
don't be an idiot.
She took him out above the knees.
Yeah, she did
too. Really,
too many jokes to be made.
And I think there's another woman now coming out saying same thing. Like he was flying me into New Orleans, knew he had a pregnant girl out there. So this might open a can of worms that Zion.
And by the way, this is a guy who can't get on the court.
Yeah, that's
embarrassing that you are.
I'd be more embarrassed that I wasn't on the court than an OnlyFans / porn star telling me I sucked at making love.
Right, and I think that part of it's important because that's also.
You've never been told that, Jamie.
No.
Jamie's never heard that.
I need girls for that to happen. What?
That's where it kind of bleeds over into the sports part, where I also don't think this is over the line because a good
so
part.
You think it's okay to be like, if this happened? Okay, if this happened, let's say. And this is not, I'm just using a name. If Alec Boehm or Tyrese Maxey or Jalen Hurts, if this was out there about them, would you feel comfortable talking in the same way about the story?
No, because those guys play. If it was Alec Boehm's been out for a year and then this comes out.
Well, he has been out. Maybe his hamstring got pulled another way.
10-day injured list. He'll be all right. But I think that's where it bleeds over too, where he's not crossing a line because it's such a big part of Zion Williamson's current legacy to the game that he just can't play, that this is relevant. If it was a guy who was playing 82 games a year and then this comes out and Stephen A is like, wow, you shouldn't have this out there, that's a little bit out of bounds. But he's not on the court for a reason, and all this stuff can be seen as factors.
Yeah, this can be a contributing factor to it. I mean, if he's out there more concerned with chasing this stuff around and flying who knows, God knows who, into New Orleans all the time, it starts to be like, all right, well, is this guy serious about getting back on the court?
No, he's not. He's obviously not.
Yeah.
He's worried about all the wrong things.
Well,
and
it
this
depends on
girl's
who you ask.
And aside from the lovemaking part, there's the diet and
2-liter bottles of soda.
If she starts exposing his takeout order and cans of soda all over the bathroom and calling
2-liter bottles of soda
and cans both.
Do you know how bad your takeout order has to be for a porn star to be airing you out about your takeout order? Like that's
probably a pretty fat guy order.
He obviously doesn't deliver well. So he's definitely ordering the takeout.
This is turning to the last segment from yesterday. We got to move on.
Hey, if your basement or your crawl space smells musty or has watermarks on the block walls, you need to get a completely free home inspection from the experts. Call BQ Basements and Concrete because the problem will only get worse. It's time to turn things over to Coach.
The bizarre and slightly ridiculous questions. finally get answered. This is Ask Me Anything.
Okay.
All right. So I have 4 questions, and you need to expand your minds a bit. I will ask the 3 of you, and you'll just kind of debate the questions. And if you have any gummies, now would probably be the time to take them.
Mine at home today.
All right. Question number 1. How many chickens would it take to take down an elephant?
How many chickens would it take to take down an elephant?
Yeah. Well, not like kill it, but take it down.
Oh, not kill it.
No, not kill it. Well, you're not going to have chickens kill an elephant. But how many chickens
That's
do you
where my
think,
mind went.
if an elephant walked through, a farm, how many chickens would need to take down an elephant?
I would think a couple hundred.
One well-placed chicken.
I think a couple hundred would get the elephant sort of a little freaked out like a mouse does.
What does a chicken weigh?
The question is an elephant just going to stomp a chicken if it sees it under it? Because my original thought was if you had 4 chickens for every foot and you kind of position yourself under his foot for each, he would imbalance and fall over. But if the elephant is soulless and just squashes the chicken, then you might not be able to take him down. Like he might just squash a bunch of chicken.
And how has this research been completed? That's what I want to know.
I'm going to go with 24 chicken.
I said a couple hundred.
What type of elephant? Are we talking African bush elephant?
Woolly
Asian
mammoth.
elephant?
A woolly mammoth.
Just stats on that.
I'm going 6 chicken per feet. You station them all on each foot. I think 24 chicken, you can get an elephant
I like
down.
Jamie's reasoning.
A chicken's about 10 pounds. An elephant's about 10,000 pounds.
A chicken's about 10 pounds?
5 to 10 pounds. But I'm
No.
going 10 because the mass easy.
A chicken might be 2 or 3 pounds.
Yeah.
See how
they're
they're
like-
breeding these chickens these days?
Well, I'm assuming that elephants are kind souls. They're empathetic to other creatures for the most part, unless
Why
they're
do
being
you think
attacked.
that?
Do you see the elephant?
Because they seem nice. They play with humans.
You ever see those woolly mammoths and the way they act?
Well, they had tusks. They were more predator.
Did you see the one that found the lady's funeral that the elephant killed and then stomped her out after, like, in the casket?
That seems justified.
Yeah.
What?
She killed one of the elephant's
Right. I
family
think
members?
there was a poacher, and then the elephant killed him, and then found the funeral, and then stomped out the casket.
That's BS.
That
I think that's a real thing. Look
that
that up.
seems fair to me.
I do not think that's real.
Let's go on to
Kind
question,
souls.
question number 2 here.
And they
Okay.
don't want to squash the chicken.
They ask me anything. What is the most annoying color?
Orange. That's not even close for me. Orange is it's sort of an offensive color to me.
I think yellow.
I would have gone yellow as well.
Really?
Yeah. When I see a hot yellow car, I'm like, who's this guy trying to impress?
Loser.
Yeah.
Or she?
Yeah.
I mean that.
And it's very bright and abrasive to your eyes.
Orange to me is just. I think it's hard to make orange look good. And orange by itself can never look good.
I like the burnt orange, like the Tennessee orange. I think that's a good look.
The Texas orange, you mean?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Texas is the burnt orange.
Well, what is Tennessee then? I mean, I like both those. I'm good with that.
Wow, I think the Tennessee orange is terrible.
I don't think orange is good with other colors, but I think orange.
See,
is
I think
fine
orange
solo.
mixes well. I think black and orange.
See, I think
Flyers
the
is
orange and
awesome.
black is not as offensive because the black just sort of neutralizes it a little bit. I think orange by itself is the absolute worst.
I think there's a reason you don't see a lot of professional sports teams in yellow.
We're not talking about offensive colors. We're saying what is the most annoying color.
No, that's annoying to me.
Yellow
That is.
annoys the hell out of me.
You ever get a
Where did you
mustard
get
stain on your
annoying?
shirt?
Yeah.
The annoying word is interesting choice by you, Coach.
I put this together, John.
That is interesting.
I still have a mustard stain on my Ryan Howard jersey from the 08 run.
And how much does it annoy you?
It bothers me every time I look at it.
Yellow, case closed.
Why don't you get it taken out?
I can't. It's
What do
too
you mean?
deep.
It's too deep.
It's part of the jersey now.
It's incredible.
All right, here we go. We have 2 more. If you could be a fly on the wall, what wall would you live on?
Ooh.
The left.
Not Zion Williamson's bedroom.
Any wall.
Any wall.
Recently, I would want to be on the wall of the Live Golf PGA Tour meeting room where those conversations went down. And how soulless is the PGA in terms of money? Not that I really care because everybody's owned by the Saudis at some point. But I'd love to be there for that conversation. Or the players meeting with the PGA and Jay Monahan. I think that would have been great.
That would have been a great one.
I'd
To be a
love to
part
be
of.
on the wall of whatever room Egan is in right now, just to know where the kid's at. He's gone to the world.
The kid.
not bad.
You're younger than him and you call him the kid.
Let's talk height.
I swear to God. He is Roman Roy. He is Roman Roy.
Kinda, yeah.
I'd hire Kieran Culkin to play him.
Yeah.
The more I see Roman Roy, I go, that is like what it's like dealing with Egan every day.
Kinda.
He's the same.
Yeah.
What wall are you going to?
I think the wall that I'd have to be on is the wall of the president's office.
Nah.
In the
You talk
White
about
House.
the Oval Office?
Yep.
Yeah, that came to my mind
I think
first.
I'd want to hear conversations that I know there's a lot of crap that we never hear about.
Those
Sure.
are secrets I don't want to know.
I think I'd like to know about them.
My life is complicated enough.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Is your life?
you got more reps to fight?
You're getting thrown out of men's league.
Yeah, I don't
games.
want to find out I don't want to know the deep, dark secrets of, the United States. No, I'm good.
Did you see the new UFO footage?
I did see that. Someone called it in, and then they called in,
On
8
the body
foot,
cam?
humanoid Johns.
Yeah.
Okay,
Terrifying.
you do not believe.
I don't know. That cop body cam footage was a little shady.
I don't not believe it.
And then the kid
What
put
do you
out
mean
a
you
ring.
do not believe it?
And then
I
the
don't-
kid put out a ring camera of the sound of the crash.
Yeah, but I want to hear. But amazingly, no pictures of the humanoids.
Yeah, well, I mean, who's
Maybe
ready?
they're like vampire aliens and you
Yeah.
can't take a picture of them.
Aliens exist, John. Come on.
No, I do believe that. I'm not naive enough to think that we're the only living creatures in the.
Yeah. So one of them crashed.
But I don't believe that. It's amazing that we never see them.
Well, because they can probably teleport and get out of here real quick.
Oh, okay. That's the way
Or
it is.
disarm your cameras. Like, come on.
Not my ring camera. They can't.
This is
All right.
rookie stuff.
Final question here.
All right.
What animal is the biggest party animal?
Ooh, great question.
Cocaine bear's hot in the streets these days. It's back to the bear
No,
talk.
real animal.
But that's
What-
just one
Rabbit.
specific
I would
bear.
say rabbits. Rabbits are the horniest animal.
They're up there.
Thumper was one of the guy's names.
Thumper, I barely know her.
Thumper. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Connor. I should copyright that.
Yes, you should.
I should absolutely.
I bet pandas are stoners.
No, they're mean, right?
Yeah,
They don't
they're
do
big.
anything. They just roll around.
You're talking about pot party, and I think the pandas are your big potheads. Don't monkeys get drunk?
Did you just say pandas were potheads?
Monkeys
Yeah.
get drunk.
Isn't
Dolphins use pufferfish to get high.
Yeah, dolphins get down.
Yeah, dolphins are kind of wild. They got
Really?
those weird clicks and
Yeah.
stuff.
I think it's rabbits.
What about
I
the
really
frogs? Isn't there like poisonous frogs where they trip?
I don't know, man. I
No,
think
well, they
they
asked
kill you.
Aaron Rodgers.
Isn't there rainforest frogs that
Aaron
trip balls?
Rodgers was having some of that.
Yeah, they said there are certain frogs that if you lick them, you'll trip out.
Yeah, that's what Aaron Rodgers did.
I'm
Yeah.
going to go with the rats in Haley's apartment when she's not home.
And
They definitely party.
well, right now they're in the just Haley. Do
They're
not
in the
touch.
living room.
Do not touch the laundry basket.
Yeah.
Because they love hiding in the laundry basket.
They're in the kitchen. One of them's up on the chair. They're having a bar mitzvah.
A quinceanera.
of course.
Why bar mitzvah?
I don't know. It's the first thing
Why?
that came to my mind.
Those
That's
are big
unbelievable.
parties. They're extravagant. They're like weddings.
Coach, did you have answers to those in your head, or did you just come up with those questions?
No, I don't have any answers. This is for you guys. I don't.
Because I mean, like the fact is his mind came up with those.
yeah.
Really weird. Like there's just some really odd questions.
I enjoy it.
Thought
Yeah, but they're
provoking
fun.
though, Coach.
Yeah,
they
they're
are.
fun.
They're fun. They're thought provoking. I know Jamie was interested in Lionel coming to the United States. That now we have a new soccer star coming to the United States.
Wow. I mean,
That's huge.
It's I mean, he's the greatest soccer player of all time.
Okay.
I'll take him over Ronaldo in that conversation. And somehow the MLS got him. You know, Barca was making a push to get him back there, but David Beckham in Miami somehow got a cut of Apple TV revenue, merchandising revenue. They threw the kitchen sink at him. And Messi is coming to America, which is pretty wild. Does it move your needle at all to go down to a game, to watch a game on TV? Let's assume you've never watched the Union before. The Union are playing Miami. Are you tuning in?
I'm going to tune in because I put on Apple TV on my iPad and catch the Union anyway. But I would say it's not going to get the person who's never gone to a Union game. But it's going to make more people who have paid attention to the Union pay attention to the MLS.
Oh, tickets are skyrocketing. My buddy the other night bought tickets, and he's in D.C., and he's like, I just bought my first D.C. United tickets in July. I think Messi might do it. And I was like, it might be his debut. And he paid like $450 for the 2 tickets. And
What?
I was like, dude, why are you paying $450 for 2 tickets to an MLS game where he's not guaranteed?
That's crazy.
I was like, sell those right now. because he's going to make his debut either at the All-Star game or in Miami in front of a home crowd. He's not going to do it in D.C.
I need that game to be a 0-0 draw that Messi doesn't play. I'm sorry to your friend.
I told him to sell him. He's like, yeah, you're probably right.
That.
Yeah. There is a hysteria out there. The tickets prices are growing all over where people think he's going to play. I think it's huge, and I haven't seen Messi play in person, and it's something I would like to put on the bucket list.
Here's the only thing is, when I've seen Messi play, I have seen him play with the world's best talent surrounding him.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to be like watching Wayne Gretzky go down and play with
Egan's team.
With Double-A team.
Now, you asked me, though, if Wayne Gretzky was playing in Egan's men's league,
you're going to want to watch it.
Yes, but I understand.
Can he put up 20 points?
But watching him go out there and play against guys that are not of his caliber, I don't know that's
well, he is on the backside of his career. I mean, he's 35, 36, something like that.
I think he's 36.
Yeah. So he's not as dominant as he once was.
I've been told that it's not Double-A baseball.
No.
The MLS.
I think it's like high AAA.
High AAA?
Yeah, compared to
I've heard
Premier League.
I heard it's less than that.
You think so? You don't think
it's like A-ball.
Oh, A-ball, really?
Of international, on the international soccer.
Yeah, I mean, all of Europe's better than
Coach, is that fair? It'd be like A-ball in baseball. Or,
no, I don't believe that.
I would think all the European leagues are better.
That is
they
true.
are, as I see.
So right there, you're not.
Yeah, but I don't know that you can make that comparison, the baseball comparison. I don't think MLS is. There are a lot of European players that come over here. I mean, the Philadelphia Union team is filled with them.
Yeah, I mean, they're
just not guys that couldn't.
For every Andre Blake, there is guys who will never sniff where Andre Blake plays on an international stage, correct? Or am I wrong with that?
There are a couple of the Union players, a handful of the Union players that probably should be playing in Europe right now. So, I mean, including Andre Blake.
Yeah, I mean, the MLS has certainly gotten a lot better.
It's gotten a lot better.
The baseball thing is tough because, like, all of Europe leagues are better, but the MLS does have a pipeline to American talent, and American talent can grow to a better than kind of single A level, I guess. The baseball comparison's kind of hard.
Yeah. Bottom line, Messi does move the needle for me.
Oh yeah, I absolutely. But the thing is, I'm paying attention to the Union anyway. It makes it even more. But it just makes it more must see TV.
Yeah, like I'm not going to pay because my foot is down. I'm drawing a line in the sand, and I think MLS going to Apple TV was a monumental mistake on their part. But I do think more people are going to be inclined to pay for it now than they were a week ago.
Absolutely. And not
a lot
people
more.
here.
By the way, the quality of the broadcast is excellent.
I bet. Apple does good stuff.
And as Coach points out, you can hear the 97.5 The Fanatic broadcast.
Boom.
By using your Apple TV app or watching it on Apple TV on your own television. You can choose the audio you want, and you can listen to it teed up with the Fanatic feed.
Yeah,
great.
Dave Leno, who does the Fanatic
does a really nice job
for the Union, is incredible. He really is great.
Good job.
Yep.
I like his cousin Jay's work on late night.
Okay, that's bad. Okay, time to take a break.
Dump that.
Time to take a break.
Come on.
Jamie has good news for Eagles fans. Or does he? We'll get to it next. John Kincade.
97.5 The Fanatic. Now, back to the John Kincade Show on 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
It's the John Kincade Show on 97.5 The Fanatic. Hopefully you are going to have a great weekend. I'm going to try to put every single thing that I want to eat done by Wednesday morning. So I'm ready. I got to start to super hydrate tomorrow. So I got to do these like super hydration to get ready.
How much water is that?
It's not just water. It's like
you got to do the
other things too. There's like a liquid IV.
Those things are amazing.
The liquid IV?
Oh, yeah.
I know the doctor who created them.
Really?
Yes.
Well, tell him thank you. And my hangovers have not been as bad.
I have never used the product, but thankfully he has sent along liquid IV to the house.
Dude, it's unbelievable.
I heard it's good and I heard it's tasty.
No? I guess normally whenever I take...
It's like fruit punch.
So I take them when I'm on death's door. Like normally, I don't get hangovers that bad, but when I do, like I need something or I'm going to pass away.
And they're amazing.
They change in like 30 seconds. You feel way better.
I heard it's an amazing product.
Yeah.
And he was kind enough to send along some to the house. So I've got stuff to carry me through the liquid IV.
Perfect. They're great for you.
Hey, the Bagster is a dumpster in a bag. And you can get yours today at Home Depot and Lowe's. And for details, go to Bagster.com. Jamie in the Lynchpin wants to give you some good news. If you're an Eagles fan, I think you're going to like what he has to say.
This is the Lynchpin.
Yeah, so yesterday, ESPN Insider, and I have an account for all those that, because it drives me nuts when you log on to ESPN.com, and it's like, oh, click to see more if you're an insider.
What's your password? Share it with me. John loves that.
It's actually my buddy's account.
Zionswiener.com.
She's still tweeting. It's pretty entertaining.
She's really out of control, by the way.
So they did the ESPN Insider Power Rankings yesterday, and I was curious where the Eagles fell. They fell in third.
Oh, wait. I know one team ahead of them. I don't know who else would be put ahead of them. That's what I can't figure out. The Chiefs, right. Got to be one of them,
they
right?
just beat them in the
right,
Super Bowl.
And they deserve to be. I don't know who the other team they'd put ahead of them.
It's got to be another AFC team. It's got to be either the Bills or the Bengals.
Pick one. You got to pick one.
Bills.
Bengals.
It's Bengals.
Damn.
Which I don't know how they
don't agree with that.
I don't agree with it either, but that wasn't really what jumped out to me.
Okay.
So, they're the top team in the NFC, and that's all that really matters because the AFC can just beat themselves up. See one of you guys in the Super Bowl. All that matters is the Eagles are clearly the best. So it ranks in the little synopsis there under the team. It kind of talks about the 5 key players. The roster core, as they call it. So the Eagles roster core is Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Lane Johnson, Hassan Reddick, Darius Slay.
Wow.
Now, what jumped out to me the most, and they talk about it in the little paragraph they write, it says, talk about the talented players left off the list. When you rank like the 6th, 7th, and 8th best players of teams around the league, how many can trot out James Bradbury, Devontae Smith, and Jason Kelsey?
Who's the 5 that they picked?
Hurts, Brown, Johnson, Reddick, Slay.
I don't know if Slay's a top 5.
I'd probably go Kelsey over him.
Okay, then
Slay, because of what they do, but this is
then
their
Slay
list.
drops back down
and
into that
it's still
5 through 8
amazing,
list.
and that's amazing.
That's what jumped out to me is their 6th, 7th, and 8th best players are probably top 5 guys on any other roster in the NFL, or most rosters, I should say. Maybe a San Fran, a Buffalo, a Cincinnati, a Kansas City. They don't make it, but pretty much every other team in the league, our 6, 7, and 8 guys are top 5.
And other than Kelsey, well, maybe Lane. Other than Kelsey, not like the other guys still have plenty of gas in the tank.
Devontae Smith might be the most underrated. It kind of sounds hot when you say most underrated player in the wide receiver in the league, but he almost is. His performance in the Super Bowl was spectacular.
It was awesome.
And he's not even in the top 5 core players, as ESPN called it. And I just kind of sat there like, damn, this might actually be, last year and this year might actually be the most talented Eagles rosters we'll see in our lives.
And if some of these young players come through,
if Nakobe Dean is a real player, or the OTA player of the week, Christian Ellis comes out and steals a starting job, if one of these young guys steps up in a major way, like Reed Blankenship is legit,
Jordan Davis takes a huge step.
Yeah. I think Jordan Davis is a key to this team being as dominant as they were
and
last
Jalen
year.
Carter, too. He has to replace the production that, what's his name gave you? Javon Hargrave.
Yeah.
But it's just an overall kind of 30,000-foot view at the talent on this team. And I'm kind of floored that 6, 7, and 8 are Bradbury, Smith, and Kelsey.
That is pretty crazy.
That's
that puts
phenomenal
That puts
talent.
a great smile on my face.
Right? Like, not many teams can say that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I honestly don't know that the Chiefs could.
Probably not. They're very top-heavy, and Patrick Mahomes carries so much of their weight. You know what I mean?
Well, and Kelsey.
Obviously.
Kelsey and him just so.
I mean, that's probably the best one, too, in football.
But that's wild when you think about it.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, this team is deep. They're
young.
Well-rounded. You're right, exactly. Think about the guys we talk about that could take the step. Like, their backups are all first-round picks, power conference, Alabama, Georgia guys. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It is, and you got another good draft coming next year. Like, you have another draft where you've got first-round pick, 2 second-round picks, and I think 2 third-round picks.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
I mean, it's set up for it's a smile. That puts a smile on my face.
Yeah, and look, when we talked about it last year, and the importance of Jalen Hurts, I underrated him, and now that he's proven,
you weren't the only one.
No,
but I appreciate you stepping up and saying, yeah, I mean,
majority of the town underrated him.
Guess what? I hadn't given up on him, but I absolutely underrated him. But I think everybody underrated him.
Yeah, and him securing that. Changes everything. It changes the whole trajectory of your franchise for a decade. It's pretty awesome. It does have average core age under here. The Chiefs and the Eagles are the exact same at 28.8. The Cincinnati Bengals are the youngest, 25.6.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So maybe that got weighted and bumped them up over the Eagles there.
I like Joe Burrow a lot, and I know you do.
Oh, I love Joe Burrow, yeah.
You see him hit BP the other day?
Yeah, he was hitting bombs.
He had 4 dingers.
A.J. Brown hit 3 dingers.
Yeah, I mean.
Wait a minute. Did Joe Burrow hit 4?
Yeah.
Out of Great American.
I didn't even know he played baseball. I didn't even realize.
I didn't either.
Maybe he
had
did.
To have.
But I'm sure he did, but.
Yeah,
that's really good. But to hit dingers in batting practice even is saying something.
Right, that's reserved for like the Connor Thomases of the world.
Oh,
that's
God.
impressive.
Connor would hit how many in batting practice?
0.
Yeah, A.J. Brown hit 3. Jalen Hurts, a lefty, which kind of blew my mind.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was a weird thing.
I mean, hell of impressive by him. Apparently, they were pretty good cuts.
You know what he is. He's a righty, but he didn't want to damage the scoreboard.
Oh.
So he decided, I'm going to flip around and swing from the other side.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That new scoreboard is beautiful.
It's nice. Yeah.
I mean, it's absolutely awesome.
It's large.
And then when they got all that crappy statistics off of it and actually went with the statistics that people know.
You don't miss the X-Swab?
Like Myron back in the, analytics room.
The BABIP?
You know what really people would love to see on the screen? They'd love to hear like Babbitt's.
Your XIP average.
Yes. What is XIP? Because that's what we need to do. We need to appeal to the next level of baseball fans.
Yeah, I did find. I've been to 2 games this year. I did find the stats on the board.
But they changed it up, though. They've changed it up, though. They've made it much more mainstream now.
Vorp's up there and Raptor.
Like, come on.
9 o'clock hour of the John Kincade Show on 97.5 The Fanatic. And hopefully you're going to have a great, great weekend. So I've got people now giving me advice on, hey, if you're going to have an eating weekend before you start chemo, here's all these things. Have you tried this place yet? Have you tried that place?
Have you been to that Westchester Pizza that's apparently kick-ass?
You know what's really crazy is? That's so weird that you said. I was just about to say to you, we are going to try it today.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I've heard it's great.
But you can only do takeout and it's only
cash only, right?
It's cash only. And you can't call and order it.
Sounds like Angelo's in South Philly.
You walk up and you then get it and it's cash only.
No, I want
Angelo's. I've wanted to try this pizza for a while.
Yeah, get it.
And so this will be my first pizza since the surgery. And I know this from last time I did chemo. I can just remember, and this time may be totally different. And everything that I'm reading is things are completely different than I may have experienced in the past. So I'm thinking about this. I was repulsed
by pizza.
Oh
no!
Ooh.
And I love pizza. I love pizza as much as any person on earth. I was repulsed by pizza, and then the second time I had cancer, I wouldn't even want to smell pizza because of the fact that I had been repulsed by it the first time. So I'm hoping pizza does not have that, because I don't think I'd be eating a lot of it like doing chemo, but I love pizza.
Yeah, you want the option.
So I'm trying this, and it's got and Connor, this is the Westchester. Is it Westchester? They got to get it straight.
Yeah, I
don't want to throw it out there, but I think it's called Westchester Pizza.
That's what I thought.
Guess what? The sign on the street is just a sign that says pizza.
That.
That's how you know it's good.
It just says pizza.
There's only one option better than just the plain pizza sign, and it's the A Pizza sign. The A
pizza sign?
So I'm going to the home of A Pizza, which is New Haven, Connecticut, at the end of the month. And it's my goal, and me and my buddies from college.
Well, New Haven has great pizza.
Oh, yeah. Franco Pepe's and Sally's A Pizza, and New Haven's like the pizza capital of the world. So I'm going to experience it firsthand coming up.
I would say it's probably Italy, but
I don't know. I don't know about that.
No. Connor, it is I don't know how much you ever listen to Dan Patrick. Dan Patrick loves pizza.
Yeah.
And then they put his studios in
that's
New Haven or whatever.
Bramford or something. It's right by there.
And they started bringing pizzas by. And they're like, this is like pizza
heaven.
No,
like
I know.
Heaven.
Yeah, the pizza capital of the country, for sure. I'd give you that.
I think New Haven takes down Italy, and I haven't even had it.
They named a tower after the stuff.
I know people. Well, your dad jokes are just atrocious today. I know people who've been to Italy.
I've been. I've had the pizza.
And I've been told
it's certainly great.
That it's great, but it's not like our pizza.
It's not. It's
completely different, but it's awesome.
It's great.
But it's a completely different dining
But I bet
experience.
New Haven wins.
Okay.
Wait.
Well, someone fly me out, and I'll let
tell
you know.
at the end of the month.
Coach, Coach, as someone who can cook a lot of things at home, can you do a good pizza at home?
Yeah, the key to a good pizza, I think, is your pizza stone.
So I have a pizza stone. I also have something called a baking steel, which was the pandemic purchase because I started.
And you bought that on Amazon as a impulse buy?
It was a birthday or Father's Day gift, something my wife stuff. The baking steel is awesome, and I was making my own dough and making my own pizzas. That was kind of my pandemic hobby. You know how everybody had something they did at the house that was. I started making pizzas, so I got pretty decent at it.
Well, my little cousin Allegra graduated Upper Dublin.
Oh yeah.
So we are going to her graduation party this
nice.
And
in my neck of the woods.
And her daddy, my cousin Steve, who we've welcomed into the Kincade bosom of the family, Steve D'Angelo. He says we're going to fatten you up on Sunday. So the girl graduation party action.
Nice.
So that's good. To have a little bit of that, I can look forward to that.
I want to get one of the propane fired like unis, like the pizza
Those
ovens.
are great, supposedly.
Yeah, they're awesome.
I just wonder if they'd be too complex for me.
No, not really.
No?
No.
Well, you don't use a pizza stone when you use one of those ovens, right, Coach?
No.
You probably could. I mean, the pizza stone, the reason why you use it is because
it's for the
that
home
thing,
oven, yeah.
It heats up, because
Makes it crispy?
Well, no, the pizza ovens in like a pizza place, they get up to like 650 degrees. So there aren't a lot of ovens.
I do 525 at
the,
home.
Yeah, the pizza stone will heat the pizza up. For the home cooking.
Hey, June is Rose Month, and Paletti's Florist has 16 different colors that are available, and they're all on sale for just $59.95 a dozen in a vase or a vase. That's $20 off the regular price. Call 800-215-2929 or go to Paletti'sFlorist.com. You're talking about A-listers there. They are A-listers. If you are interested in getting roses for somebody, they are absolutely awesome. I got to ask you a question here. Does the Eagles NFC Championship, the lack of roster upheaval and all the talent on the roster, as Jamie was just highlighting in that piece from ESPN, and their favorite status in the NFC, does it leave you a little out of sorts? Chucky D and I talked about this yesterday after the show. I sort of feel like I'm a bit out of sorts as an Eagles fan. That what am I used to doing? I'm used to talking about what is my concern? What is my worry? What is my thing? The Eagles looking so solid, I almost find a little bit unnerving. And I don't want to borrow trouble.
I talked about this last year with E-Rock because we were kind of talking about how the tailgate scene was
Love you, E-Rock.
Was different a little tamer.
He was tame last year.
And I remember having the conversation with him at Xfinity Live where it was like, are we not good at being the best? Like,
no, we're not.
Does it change? Like, it's so unfamiliar with us that we don't know how to handle it. And I think there is a degree of that.
Like, but I'm feeling it doing this show that I feel like we've got less fruit on the Eagles tree to pick from because of the fact that we don't have negative vines. We don't have stuff we're worried about, stuff we're arguing about. We all agree the Eagles are we did it earlier today.
I think in season, that's a good problem to have if you're talking about July and August where you want to talk football. There's just nothing really to talk about because they're good.
I think I found one.
Okay.
It's 2 new coordinators.
Yeah.
That's certainly big.
Well,
Because
1.5.
Well, why do you say 1.5? Because you're just saying Nick Sirianni's the...
Yeah, and also Brian Johnson's been here.
Yeah, but Brian Johnson's never been in this role in the NFL.
I got you, but it's not an outside hire. It's
Brian Johnson's in the same position that Sean Desai is.
Well, Brian Johnson's worked closely forever with Jalen Hurts. He knows the guy so well, and that's the main part of your offense. I don't look at him as new as I look at Sean Desai.
But calling a game is a completely different thing than knowing Jalen Hurts. To call a game, I would imagine calling a game, especially on the offensive side of the ball, that is incredible pressure.
Yeah, I just don't have much concern about Brian Johnson, and I have some about Sean Desai. It doesn't feel equal to me.
So you have more concern over Desai?
For sure.
Is it because of the familiarity with Hurts and Johnson?
Well, it's that. It's the Nick Sirianni thing. It's a whole kind of... He's on an island. He's basically running the defense. Brian Johnson, to me, seems like an underling, with all due respect, an underling of Nick Sirianni still, even if he's calling the offense.
Okay.
I get where he's coming from.
I get that, and I think that's fair. I think it's fair. I just find it a bit...
And Hurts' relationship dating back to high school with him
is amazing.
It helps.
That's an amazing story.
It really is.
And by the way, good job on Nick Sirianni, not only finding him before.
Yeah, getting him from Florida.
But also, too, to foster that relationship where he was ready to ascend. Because, if Jalen Hurts has another huge year and everything, and the Eagles' offense is lit up, Brian Johnson's going to be people are going to be talking about him as a head coaching candidate.
Yeah, hopefully you get a couple years out of him before he does that.
Hopefully you do. Graf in Media joins us on The Fanatic. Graf, what's going on, brother?
Guys, I'm so happy you're talking Birds right now.
Glad to have you on.
They're our happy place, Graf.
Yeah, and it's bittersweet, right? Because I don't want summer to even end, right? But at the same time, if it gives me Eagles football, I'd consider it.
93 days, Graf.
And John, I want to say, man, I have been praying for you hard, brother, and I just wanted to throw that out.
I thank you, man.
On my mind.
I thank you so much for that, and I am a big believer that the prayers do help.
Well, you're going to be there for as long as it takes.
That's what I'm going to do. I want to see that Super Bowl parade. I told Jamie and Bob and Pat and Coach, I'm like, I want to broadcast from a parade, and an Eagles parade would be my favorite choice of anything.
I don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities. And let's be real, one of the main reasons why we're all so comfortable is because that draft. I can't say anything's perfect, right? But it's not like he drafted. What was the dude's name? What was Pat's favorite anti-not player? What the wide receiver that they drafted over Justin Jefferson? What was his name?
Jalen Reagor.
Jalen Reagor.
Yeah, you're not making any Jalen Reagor type moves. They made such good decisions in the draft that we have nothing to talk about. And the coordinators matter, John, and I agree with you, they do. But this team is so talented that the only way a coordinator wouldn't be good in this scenario. Jonathan Gannon got a job, and to us, he didn't even do that good of a job. But that defense was so talented, it didn't matter. So he got a job out of it.
Yes.
And to me, I look at it from that perspective that these coordinators would need to be really bad at their jobs for it to matter to me.
I think that's fair.
I don't think that that's going to happen. I think talent on this roster is an absolute wonder, and Howie Roseman, I just got to give him credit. Good job, dude.
Good job.
And it's like, I don't know what else to say at this rate. But I love Birds football.
We
I
can't
love
wait.
hearing it.
All right, we'll see you soon. Take care, Graf.
Later,
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for the kind
It
words.
is pretty nice.
I love it. It's just, and it is weird because I got somebody here asking me on social media, so you want to have negative thoughts? And I'm like, no. It's just sort of been
natural to us?
Yeah.
As an Eagles fan, it's been sort of a natural where you always thought, even Andy Reid's teams and everything, like that there was an Achilles heel. The only year I didn't think that was the TO year. I went into that. I went into the TO season,
and even that we hadn't seen it yet. So it's just like it seems like that relationship's going to work, but still, it's just how do they feel each other out? Can McNabb do it with the top guy? Like there was something there.
Now make this clear because it's something when Cuz and Chunas will talk about it, and you got to be listening every single day to Cuz Radio right after us here on the Fanatic. They get a discussion. It's like they didn't like that you and I were both leaning towards like, look, going into this season, our expectations is Super Bowl or bust. Like that's what the expectation should be. And it was the idea is that Anthony's like, look, every season is a novel. I just want to let it play out. I just want to enjoy and let it play out. I'm like, look, I'm going to enjoy a season no matter what.
You've got to enjoy the journey.
Whether I have high expectations in it or not, I'm going to enjoy every single freaking Sunday. I remember Carson Wentz's first year. I enjoyed that season as much as almost any Eagles season I've ever watched.
Yeah, because there was so much hope and optimism for the future.
Yes. So, I mean, I'm not liking it just because I put the obligation of saying, I believe this team, if anything less than us being in Vegas in February, to me, would be a failure. This team is that good. Or something cataclysmic happened to them.
Yeah, failure, it depends how it plays out.
And as I said, if they were having to go to San Francisco for the NFC title game and they lost 31-27, I am not saying, the season's a failure. But my expectation is in February, post-chemo, when I can do whatever the hell I want, I'm going to be on a plane and I'm going to be seeing the Eagles in Las Vegas.
That should be your expectation. They haven't given you any reason to believe that that's not a possibility, and yeah, that's what we should be looking for.
I am so excited.
But even if they have to go to San Fran, I don't care.
Yeah.
See, you really don't. You're.
I mean, who's their quarterback going to be? Take your pick.
Purdy? We'll play him on the moon. We'll beat Brock Purdy.
Okay.
I am not worried. I mean, the Brock Purdy just. If
people act like this guy is like the second coming of Joe Montana. Can we relax?
Well, that's because he's a 49er.
Well, because the roster's great outside the quarterback position, but they're dealing. Come on, Brock Purdy, Sam Darnold, and Trey Lance.
He's a toddler behind the wheel of a Formula One car. The car's still fast, but he's not driving it anywhere.
Like, come on.
Get some of that Colonel Seasons popcorn seasoning. Turn what into what the what. Add interesting with Colonel Seasons today, available in the popcorn aisle. So Jason gives me a little tip on Jason Coletti says that Westchester Pizza. He said Spear is the guy's name.
Spear, hook my man John up.
Spear, no. He doesn't hook me up.
No, not a free pizza, but just make sure there's a pie for him.
Spear.
Come on, Spear. What do you say?
Spear. Okay. Spear has to be. Doesn't Spear have to be sort of badass?
Yeah,
kinda.
Like Spear
can't be a little limp
Spear
noodle.
can't look like
you could be, but if you are, you got to be like some super computer hacker.
So it's like the ironic tiny for like
for the big
if you're
fat
a hacker,
guy.
you're like I could get into anything. Spear's gonna hack into the system.
Connor wants to talk about the Big Bang.
What?
That's what he says.
More
is Zion Williamson talk?
Not the show either.
No, it wasn't the Big Bang either. John Kincade Show 97.
Now, back to the John Kincade Show on 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
We have no Egan today. We have no Bob today, but we can still dance a little bit. You know, it's been a tough week. Boss has gotten on your nerves. Maybe your coworkers have gotten on your nerves a little bit. It's all right to say, take this job and shove it. Make it a great summer weekend, everybody. Enjoy yourself. John Kincade Show, 97.5 The Fanatic. And by the way, if that basement or crawl space smells musty or has watermarks on the block walls, you need to get a completely free home inspection from the experts called BQ Basements and Concrete, because the problem's only going to get worse. And what? I'm wandering the halls outside, and look who's here, Ricky Batalico from the best show ever.
Good morning.
What, were you trying to make some money in with Ms. Rhonda?
No, I'm just
record some
picking
spots?
up some reads for later.
Oh, yeah, you got to pick them up later.
Rhonda and Ricky are brother and sister in the shoe game.
Oh, yeah, the Hokas.
Yeah, they're all the rage now.
By the way,
big Hoka guy.
Ms. Rhonda, who we just adore, you can tell when she lightens up and warms up around people.
Mm-hmm.
Connor, you have you and Ms. Rhonda have a great relationship.
Yeah, we do. I love Miss Rhonda.
You have a absolute. She loves her some Ricky Batalico too.
Yeah.
Wow, are we fighting over Miss Rhonda right now?
Well, guess what? You can both take a back seat. I'll fight for her right now.
Oh, there we go.
I'll fight for her right now. Except I won't really fight Ricky. I'm a cancer patient. Don't swing.
No, I'm not swinging.
Don't swing
Royal
at me.
Rumble.
The Connor though got in a little skirmish last night. And I wanted you to sort of rule on this guy code. Former professional athlete, guy's guy, Ricky Batalico. Connor got kicked out of the actual court, ejected from the building for his rampage on a referee.
It's actually, Rick, let me give you a little bit of backstory, too. It's because he's not allowed within 100 yards of schools.
No, that was last year with the mustache.
Yeah.
Now with this
that's the
facial hair,
real
I'm
reason.
good.
No, number one, this guy's got a track record now, doesn't he?
What do you mean?
Taking walks in softball.
I've never been ejected from any sporting event
It's really
ever.
turning into quite a little bit of a joke about this Connor, what's his last name?
Yeah, Connor Thomas. Well, that's his radio name.
Nice to meet you.
That's his radio name.
So Thomas over there seems to think it's okay to yell at people during a pickup basketball game. Is basically what it is, right?
Only if he pays you, he said, basically.
I can't.
That is the most pathetic thing I've ever heard. Getting kicked out of a non-sanctioned basketball game.
Yeah, I don't. That was my point of view earlier on Connor.
But did your point of view change at some?
No, that was my point of view on it, and I was getting dragged for that. That's not that I was sort of off base by that. That I was a little off base with that.
There is no reason. He said it was a kicked ball. There was a kicked ball, so he got upset. Really? It's one possession. Instead, you get kicked out of the game, which probably helped your team out, and they were probably down like 25 when he got thrown out.
No,
they only lost by 2, I heard.
It was that's not true. It was a 6-point game, and the kickball made a huge difference in the game.
So you got to feel like a real idiot then.
No, because they had already awarded them the layup off the kickball to make it 8 with like 30-some seconds left.
There was 30. Oh, see, who cares if you get kicked out? You're not doing any damage.
Yeah,
with 30
that's why
left.
I did it.
So you did it on purpose?
Well, I mean, yeah, of course. I knew I was going to get run.
Yeah. Oh, it is what it is. Don't be stupid.
I mean, just don't be stupid.
Listen, I wasn't like, saying stuff about the guy's family, saying about the stuff
But why
about the guy's
is it always you?
What do you mean, why is it always
It's
me?
always something with you. Whether there's always an issue in softball. There's always an issue in the basketball. There's always an issue with you.
The issue in softball is with you guys. You just don't like me taking walks and playing the game.
Well, you just
true.
Look, Harry Hardon.
Yeah, I'm not
That's how
happy.
he called
It's kind of like you're not happy with Connor. I'm not happy with Dylan right now.
What? By the way, Dylan stepped over a line.
Dylan took some
Dylan
personal
stepped over a
shots
line with
at me
you
yesterday. And all in all, I'm the one who actually kind of helped him out yesterday.
The D train? You were on the tracks?
He started bringing up that I was over at the other studio and this and that. I didn't like it.
And by the way, take him out at the knees. I felt for you listening.
Yeah. I was a little ticked off.
Out of bounds.
And Hunter took some personal shots later on, too. Like contract shots.
Oh, boy. This is fun.
I didn't like that.
This is good.
And I helped Hunter out. I helped both of those guys out.
Bring them on.
And I'm the one who ended up thrown under the bus.
Now, we would not supplant your seat for many people.
Yeah.
But I'm going to.
That's fine with me.
Because guess who's? Wait till you open the door.
Do you need me to keep the headphones
Wait till you open the door and guess who you see's outside.
You want
the
the headphones kept?
Yeah, no, the headphones stay here.
Well, they're mine.
But wait till you see who's going to come in the door.
Coach?
No.
Coach
I
Camille.
bet it will put a smile on your face.
Oh,
David Keckner's walking in studio. What did I tell you? What did I tell you there? Champ's in the house.
Todd Packer?
Oh, my gosh, he's in the house.
Look at that hat.
You know what, I told him, I said, what did I say, James? The minute the minute that he saw who was outside the door, Ricky be like, get me out of here. Let's let David Keckner in the studio. How are you?
Good. I'm very well. Good. How are you doing?
I love your shirt.
Thank you, sir.
That is a great shirt. I'm John. That's Jamie.
This is Rob.
Hey,
Rob, how are you? Rob, take a seat over here. Yeah. Take a seat over here where we get and Connor can punch up another mic for
and obviously, David's going to be at Helium Comedy this weekend, which is one of my absolute favorite places.
Well, Helium Comedy is class.
It's a good club, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great place.
It's a great vibe. We had a great show last night.
Yeah.
It was popping, yeah.
Do you like Philly in terms of...
It's a great town.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Great comedy town.
Yeah.
Great sports town.
Why is it a great comedy town?
Well, the audiences get it. And so, there's just not a lot of work. They're there to have a great time, and they get the jokes. Now, why is it? I don't know. But, you think
that's just being, grounded to reality, and that's an escape, and they know it? And
I think it's because it's a great historical town. You guys, it's like, why is Philly such a great sports town? It is. Right? Not every town is a great sports town, but Philly is. Philly is. Chicago is. LA actually is, too. New York. But, can you say why that is? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I think here it's generational.
Yes.
Is that for sports, it's that your grandpa, your dad, you, and then on to your kids, that we pass the obsession on.
Right.
And as my mom, who passed a few years ago, 90 years old, would, into her 80s, 90s, would go to church, come home from church, put on her either Philly shirt or Eagles shirt, depending on what day, what sport it was, because it's generational.
Yeah.
And it's familial.
Yeah. That's what you do.
Maybe it's passion. That's why it's a good comedy.
Yeah, that's
Rob Mayer in studio with us too, Rob.
John, you've always said something that I've stolen this as a philosophy for baseball. And maybe, I don't know if this is your philosophy or you took someone else. But
Memorial Day?
Yes, Memorial Day.
That has always been from my national radio show.
Yeah.
I would do that, and then I would have people argue with me in all the local markets.
No, I think it's spot on.
Don't look at standings in baseball till Memorial Day.
Oh, yeah, makes sense.
A third of the season.
Right.
Yeah.
No, Champ, I think, always would have focused. Champ would have obsessed on the standings.
Champ doesn't know what's going on.
0-2 is the season over.
Yeah.
Where did you have the freedom to create Champ, or was Champ kind of presented to you?
It's on the page, but it's you that brings it to life.
Sure.
So
was there somebody from growing? You were what, Missouri? You grew up?
Missouri. Yeah.
Was there somebody local?
No, because the local ones they would always have these college kids that would do it because it was close. Like the closest broadcast would be Jefferson City, and they often have kids from
first job
journalism. Yeah. First, and so they were not very colorful. And so, but the script is right there, and it was so much fun.
Yeah.
So you don't think about things till later, like, well, what if? How did that happen? How did I get that?
Yeah.
And then you're so thankful that you did. But when you're doing it, you don't think of, how am I going to do this?
Sure.
You just do it, and it's fine.
Huh.
And you have to have that trust, like it's going to be okay.
There was a rumor, because Adam McKay was a Philly guy, that Ron Burgundy was based on a local guy here in Philadelphia.
Who you never saw, and I
never
grew
saw.
up as a little kid. Mort Krim was an anchorman on the NBC affiliate here.
So that's why I was wondering, is Champ reflective of somebody else's
specific
sports guy? You know what I mean?
They may have had somebody in there thinking about it, right? But there's no one like Champ that would be allowed in the broadcast booth. So in a way, he can't be based on anybody.
Yeah.
It would not be a compliment to say it's based on the certain
That's a great point.
I grew up in the D.C. area. We had Glenn Brenner, who passed away too young, was hilarious, and George Michael.
I worked for the George Michael Sports Machine.
Sports Machine.
Yeah, I worked for him for a year and a half. He was, and he had his ties to Philadelphia as well.
Yeah.
And I believe Howard Eskin interned for him.
Yes, he did.
Which is just crazy.
That's wild. Yeah.
You know, you look at a tree of those kind of guys. Sports is. I think what you do is doing comedy or doing things. People are like, "Oh my God, that must be a great job." I tried to do as part of a fundraiser. We had to do 4-minute sets at the Punchline in Atlanta when one of our fellow radio hosts in Atlanta died. We did a fundraiser for him, and all of us got up. It was the longest 4 minutes of my life.
Oh boy!
And I had a great line to start.
Yeah.
I worked for people named the Dickies. And the number one rival was Cox Radio in town. Okay. And I said, on our business cards, it always says, better to work for Dickies than Cox.
Right.
But I went with the first joke. And then
you couldn't follow your own first joke.
Yeah, and then it felt like, okay, now I got 3 minutes and 40. The room fell apart.
Yeah.
And then it was, okay. What's the second pitch, third pitch?
Oh, boy.
I mean, is it easier to be funny with a script? Or is it easier to be funny when you guys are just riffing or riffing on people in the audience? And
well, it's both. It's both. No, so I have an improv background. Like I started doing improvisation.
That's how you got Saturday Night Live, right?
Yeah. So for me, it's not different. Like I know if I can get up there if I have to without a script, I can do it. Now, if you're with another, improviser on stage, that's that relationship. The two of you on stage, you're gonna, take care of each other. The only difference is if you're improvising on doing stand-up, your partner is the audience, right? And they're going to tell you if you're funny or not.
Mm-hmm. Do you work? Do you tend to want to? The comedians will say doing stand-up. You'll see some that sort of target the room and want to sort of pick people to interact with, and there's others who just want to, I guess, sort of let it flow and see what comes out of the audience.
Right. So you can have that guided interaction with the audience. You don't want to just let it go out and then all of a sudden you don't have control of your show. So you'll have, like Rob does it and so do I, we have segments in our show dedicated to where there is going to be some audience interaction. But when you're going to get into it, it's controlled. You know when you're going to get into it, going to get out of it. And if nothing else, you're like, we're done with that now. We're moving on. We're back to the normal show. So, you're in charge of it, right?
But do you target somebody? Like when you're,
some people do.
Well, target is. I feel like who's going to be more receptive to this question? Yes, and sometimes you don't. If they're too receptive, you don't want to target them because if they really want to be talked about,
then they'll take.
They'll take over the show. So you want to avoid that person, but you also want to avoid the person who's super uptight, has their arms crossed. So you got to find the happy medium of this person's cool. They can take a joke and they're not going to take things too seriously, and they'll kind of go along with the premise.
I love the hat.
Oh, thank you. Keeps the sun off.
I'm just about not bringing the mood down or anything. I start chemotherapy on Wednesday. I've got a cancer right now, and I start chemo on Wednesday, and people are like, "Why don't you do hats?"
Yeah,
you like a baseball cap looks good on you. Jamie is great. Like Jamie's head looks great with hats.
Huge, handsome
that hat is very impressive. I never wear hats. So I never ever wear hats. So people are like, "Well, you got to get some hats." And I'm like, I don't wear them. Now, that's a hat. I don't think I could pull it off. David can because you have height. I think, like Jamie, is a large man, tall man. I think hats on taller men look better. Baseball caps, maybe, I could pull something like that off.
You need a hat stylist. Somebody can come in and kind of give you different variations and see what works for you.
Could work.
I mean, that person exists probably.
I'm sure. Stylist? I don't know. Yeah, but you have to pay them, Rob.
I said give a plug.
But if you don't want to wear a hat, you don't have to.
Well, no, if I start to lose the hair, I'm absolutely gonna. Well, my Michael, who cuts my hair, goes, "Look, we're gonna buzz it down. We'll make it look good."
Yeah.
But you got to keep the sun off you during chemo.
Yeah.
So you got to wear hats.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to find a cool hat. I couldn't pull David's hat.
Yeah,
I think if you're going through chemo, you can pull off any. You can wear a beer hat at church. People are like, hey, he's going through some things.
It's got like
cut up some slack.
It's got a Yards Brewery hat.
Yeah.
He's wearing it
Go
out
to
there.
a hat shop. You'll find some.
A hat shop?
Yes.
Where, okay, where do you find, what was this?
There used to be one on South Street.
I think it closed. I was going to say, is this like 1965? Like,
where's the hat shop?
Let's go down to the hat shop?
Yes, a haberdasher. I go to this, there's a Western store there in L.A. I go to. That's where I got this hat.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not flying to L.A., Dave.
Okay, but there's got to be a good. You give me your hat size. I'm going to get you a hat.
My gosh, I don't know a hat size.
You don't know your hat size?
No, I don't, because I don't wear hats. Look, God gave me this.
Okay,
God gave me this.
Good looking hair. Yes.
Great looking hair.
Yes.
I'm not going to cover it up.
I'm going to say
take the
this.
Mona Lisa.
You're a grown up. You should know your hat size. You know your shoe size.
Connor, do you know your hat size?
Yeah, 7 1/4, I think. 7
1/4. Isn't it 7 1/4?
I don't know. I'm not good with fractions.
7 and 8.
He went Division III baseball, but he went overseas. And studied. I mean, so he did. He said 7 1/4.
Yeah.
No one says 1/4. You say a quarter.
You say a quarter. Jamie, what is yours?
7 5/8.
I would have guessed 8
for my big brain.
I would have gone 8.
Cabeza. There you go.
Does anyone go 8?
What's that?
Does anyone go 8 with hats?
I don't know.
Like would Shaq wear an 8?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
You think Shaq wears 8?
Probably.
But he weighs an 8.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wear a hat?
I don't know my hat size either, so
You
I guess I
don't?
got to admit, I got to be in John.
Well, you two have that in common.
Yeah.
By the way, did you choose, because I'm looking right now and I'm saying to myself that Rob goes to one of our other co-hosts here is out today, but his hat will always match his ensemble.
Really?
Did you pick the hat today for the ensemble?
Well, we were just actually in.
You're wearing like blue. You got blue Maui.
I think it matches.
You got
I don't know.
You do a little bit.
We were in Hawaii. Fortunately, we had a gig there a couple weeks ago.
That's not a bad
tough
gig.
life.
Right, yeah. And
Did they have a hat store there?
Well, I had bought this the previous time I was in Hawaii. I act like I'm a world traveler. But the club had given us, they said, you can each take a T-shirt. And he didn't want one. And I said, well, this hoodie is nice. And they go, no, it's a T-shirt. I go, well, he's not getting a T-shirt, so one hoodie is the same as 2 T-shirts, right?
It is. I think it's on the rule, right?
And then she goes, I don't think so. I go, well, I'm just going to take it. Because I liked it. It's very comfortable.
That's nice. That's a nice, the Blue Note in Hawaii.
The Blue? Yeah, it's a good club, great venue. Sorry I stole your swag.
The weird thing is, look, if you guys are doing shows and you're traveling all across this great country, I would think they would want you trotting out their gear.
Thank you.
Right.
Over a freaking hoodie?
Yes.
I didn't know this. Now I feel like I can borrow that hoodie anytime I want.
Yeah, you probably can. Yeah, it's yeah.
John Brazier from the Phillies has checked in. Bruce Bochy wears an 8 1/8 hat.
Wow. That's a big dome.
8 8.
It's a big, yeah.
That is a big. What would you have been, both of you, if you had not been landed in the world of comedy? What would you have been other than Misfits?
Well, probably a restaurant manager, because I worked in restaurants going through college and after. Like when I was studying in Chicago, I was always working in a restaurant, so that's all I can think of. I probably could have been a restaurant manager.
Would you have been good at managing the staff? And,
but a little too much, because you got to ride that line between being friends and they're your underlings.
Yeah,
and that's tough. You've got, because someone's got to do
it's a unique
the
industry
crappy job. Yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah, were you a Second City alum? Is that what you were doing in Chicago?
Yeah.
How much fun was that when you were there?
Oh my gosh,
because I've seen a show there and it's awesome.
Yeah, it was a special time too. I didn't know when I was there. There was such an amazing group of people going there at the same time I was there. Unlike it's not been touched since.
Is this when Lauren first started kind of tapping in?
Well, no, he started getting them from Chicago at the very beginning in '75. Okay. So Belushi, those guys were from Chicago.
Aykroyd too?
And no, Aykroyd was from Second City.
He was Second City,
Toronto.
Yes. Okay, right.
So both Second City. So I knew that's where all those guys came from, and that's when I went to Chicago to study, and that's when all these same people came at the same time.
Chris Farley,
Carell, Colbert, Tim Meadows, Adam McKay, all these, Tina Fey, Amy Poehler, Rachel Dratch.
You're in Tina's backyard right now.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Tina grew
5
up.
minutes down
Tina
the road.
grew up like 5 minutes from here.
Kate Flannery. I mean, all these people were there at this time. I didn't know.
You didn't sense the greatness at the time?
No, all you know is what you have in front of you.
Yeah.
You just didn't know, I guess there's great people all the time. Looking back at it, that was unlike any period in Chicago for talent. It was unparalleled.
Now, do you guys date back a long time? Where did you cross paths in the comedy world?
6, 7 years.
We met 7, 8 years ago. Arlington Cinema Draft House, the club right outside of Washington, D.C., and I just was booked to work with them, and we just kind of hit it off, and our acts sort of meshed well together, and then you had me come back the next year, and then we started doing a few more dates here and there. And
so what's a tour? Like 30 cities, 20 cities.
This year we're.
I mean, because you're here now.
I keep saying yes to more shows. We're very blessed. You know, you're grateful that the work's there, right? And then you were like, I'm going to cap it at this, but then you get good gigs, and I've got 5 kids, and apparently they like to eat. So,
what'd you do during COVID? Because it's something I always think of people whose careers were most affected by COVID. And I'm not saying obviously our first responders and everything, so don't give me an email later. I don't want to hear it. But like a comedian, like comedy shows, it is so great to go see live comedy.
Yeah.
No, I got unemployment. Thank you, state of Maryland. I have a murder mystery company, so I have an LLC, so I was able to get a little payroll.
But people were able to do that.
I was able to. Well, no, I did writing. I wrote several of things for my murder mystery company. So I had an idea that I'd been thinking about for a while, and I finally just got it done and knocked it out, and it's gone really well. So I try to be as productive as possible. I bought a treadmill. I was like, no.
I bought a Peloton.
I want this to have signified that I made some sort of positive change in my life that maybe I wouldn't have if this hadn't happened. I try to find a way to spend that and make that so we could look at that as this year. You thought at the time 6 months or whatever, 2, 3 years, whatever it being, that there would be something that happened there that was actually a good thing that came out of it. So
Jamie has like a bromance with his digital Peloton guy.
Oh, yeah, Alex Toussaint. Yeah,
that's your guy? Yeah.
You follow him on social media, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know his hat size?
We're not that close yet.
I mean, it had to feel, for someone who's funny and someone who's used to interacting with crowds and everything, what did you do being stuck at home?
Well, you just
other than 5 kids, because that's not very funny.
And that's not funny.
No, it's not. That sounds crazy to me. I've got one.
Yeah, you get it.
I got one, and I don't even.
It's hard. So you just do the best you can. Plus, I was going through a divorce during the thing, so I fought with her a lot, which is that's
a fun time,
fun activity.
Yeah.
That's always good.
So, but I did as much online.
Did you fight
stuff.
on Zoom?
No.
You didn't Zoom with her?
I did a lot of Zoom comedy shows, and they're awful.
Those are
I'm talking about fighting with your spouse and making it your ex.
I would fight with her on text or on the phone, or you go. There's some apps where there has to be a third party. That has
really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and she wouldn't use that. She wouldn't even use that.
So you're trying to set up threesomes? Wait a minute. You're trying to get divorced and you're trying to set up threesomes?
Trying to marginalize her ability to be nasty in the text. Like, if you know someone else is reading the text, you're less liable to be an a-hole about stuff.
Gotcha.
But she wouldn't even. She'd go around that, and I was like, it was.
She found her ways past the.
Yes, not fun.
I got to tell you, this is I absolutely love, always have, someone you worked with in Anchorman. And that is Christina Applegate.
Oh, she's the best. Yeah.
And
awesome.
we loved Dead to Me.
Uh-huh.
And I've been wondering if she's doing well. And I think you don't hear much.
Retired. I think she officially said she's retired.
She is officially retired now.
Yeah.
But she is I think her comedic range is incredible.
Right.
As far as parts.
Yeah. Yeah. And that she'll be doing it forever.
Kelly Bundy.
Yeah.
I grew up with
I love that.
Yeah.
Kelly Bundy, a big part of your childhood.
Oh, huge part of my childhood.
Big part of the childhood.
Yeah, she's a lovely human being. So it's just sad that she had to, go through. But
can you imagine like a show like Married with Children ever being on television today?
I mean, even if you look at Todd Packer,
right?
Like that's,
I mean, seriously, that would never.
Todd Packer on
Todd
TV
Packer
anymore.
Never.
He couldn't exist as it was written.
No, but in a new form.
Yeah, but now wait a minute, it would be wussified.
Well, no, it'd be fun to watch him struggle.
That would
he'd walk in like, don't say it. He'd say what? Don't say what you're thinking. How do you know what I'm thinking? I know what you're thinking. Let me say half of it. No. Let me say part of it. No. Let me say watching him struggle would be fun.
This is why.
See, now wait a minute. This could work.
Bring this character back. Yeah.
That even just a cameo appearance to be able to do something like that. I can't imagine the handcuffs of comedy today, though.
Well,
because there's handcuffs in our business.
Yeah.
There are. I can remember, I've been doing this for almost 30 years. I can remember things we did on the air that would never.
Right.
We had the calendar girls every year.
Right.
At the radio station, where girls showed up to try to be in the calendar.
In
our calendar.
You could still probably say that.
No. Somebody will be offended.
Right. It's like,
somebody's offended by everything.
Yes.
Exactly.
There's some good and bad in all these things, right?
So how do you navigate it?
Well, I don't do topical stuff.
Good.
Because then
I don't want that when I go to a comedy show.
Because then you're chasing it. And a lot of times you just be left. So I don't do political stuff at all either, because you're just going to divide the house.
Yeah.
If you're not known as a political comic, then don't do it. because you're going to lose half the audience,
Yes.
right? So you just navigate. You just do what your life, your characters, and so I've been doing this long enough, so I know what works, and you know where you can go. Sometimes I do like to poke the bear a bit and make the audience a little bit uncomfortable, so they learn and grow. In my mind. And sometimes Rob goes, that's a bit preachy. I'm like, okay.
But with your audiences, they're coming to these shows because they like Champ Kine and Todd Packer. So this is not an audience that you really have to be careful around. They get it. So they're fun.
They're used to the colorful.
Exactly. So that can depend on where you're at, but generally I feel like whether we're in Philly or we're in Tacoma, Washington, or we're in Columbus, Ohio, your audience is your audience.
Yes, they're not offended.
No.
But a lot of times people go, I thought it was going to be dirtier. It's so weird. And
I wouldn't have thought you'd.
So the opposite of Bob Saget.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Where you expect him to be wholesome Danny Tanner, and he's a dirty, filthy comic.
Yeah.
I took my mom to see Robin Williams back in the late 80s.
Wow.
I almost croaked
because he was dirty
at the Valley Forge Music Fair. This venue at the time, and I almost croaked. I wanted the floor to swallow me up.
Oh no!
And my mom said, "I've heard all this stuff before," and that made it worse.
Yes,
that made it worse. As he is just, I'm thinking it's Robin Williams,
right?
Oh my gosh!
It's like I've done some of these things too.
I wanted to. Well, that was. She did not say that, Rob. She did not. So, Rob, where and we can, Rob and David, there are some tickets for Helium this weekend.
Yes, I think there's some left.
A little fewer opportunity for you to see you guys.
Yeah, 7:30 and 10 tonight, and 4:30 is the Office Trivia Show. It's a matinee show.
That's great.
Yeah,
really
really
happy hour type thing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Good turnout for that, and then 7:30 and 10 more stand up tomorrow.
So when you guys hit a new city, do you go about and venture out and see new things, try the hot food, all that stuff?
We try to,
or is the hours just kind of brutal?
You end up sleeping.
Yeah.
Have you done the Reading Terminal Market?
I think so. A couple years ago,
where you walk amongst all the
get the cheesesteak, get the roast pork, broccoli Rob, and Sharp Pro from DeNix and Reading Terminal. It's probably by your hotel.
Good. Spectacular.
Do that.
And steel hoodies.
Steel hoodies, yes.
And by the way, if you get a Helium hoodie, you want to steal a couple more, you can steal some too. We'll take them too.
I'm going to take this microphone.
Guys, best of luck to both of you. Thank you so much for stepping in and joining us today. Love to see it there. Go see David Keckner and Rob Mayer at Helium Comedy Club. They're absolutely awesome. We love Helium. Absolutely love it there. Hey, get the BetParks app too. BetParks Casino and Sportsbook app, the official sportsbook partner of the Real Philly Sports Fan. You got to be 21 in Pennsylvania, New Jersey. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. You're not a Dodger fan, are you?
I'm not a big baseball guy, but
Dodgers are in this weekend.
Yeah, I'm casually.
And we hate them.
Okay, then no.
We don't like them. We do not like them. Are you a Commanders fan?
I grew up all the DC
sports
teams,
fan, right?
but I now work for 98 Rock in Baltimore, we're the flagship of the Ravens and the Orioles.
Wait a minute.
So I do the Ravens post-game show. So if you're listening, I'm a huge Ravens fan.
I don't know. I don't know whether to do this on the air or not. One of my nemesis. Is in that market.
Well, it's too late now. You got to name names.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna play password. Okay, I'm gonna play password with you here. Short.
Yeah.
In our industry, it's Baltimore. Short.
I know a short guy, but he's not. He's still doing radio.
He walks. I don't know if he is. He walks around with his name on the back of a jersey on Radio Row at the Super Bowl. He wears a Ravens Super Bowl ring, a Ravens jersey, and then walks around with his name on the back of the jersey.
You talking about Mickey?
Nasty Nestor. Is he not there anymore?
No.
Is he gone?
No, he's not there.
Nasty Nestor?
Nasty Nate?
Nasty Nestor used to be this guy on Radio Row at the Super Bowls. And Adam Sandler would come on through and all these guys coming through. He would wear his Ravens jersey, a fake Ravens Super Bowl ring that he had made for himself.
Yeah, not a fan of
and his name on the back.
You're not on the team. You didn't.
No, you're not on the team.
You didn't play.
It's not us, them, right, and everything. It's completely different.
The jersey should be the player. You should never have your own name on a jersey.
Never your own name on a jersey.
I agree.
Now, a football fan?
Of course.
Huge Chiefs
fan.
Sorry. I mean, will not
It's okay.
apologize.
No.
I will not
Look,
apologize.
I've seen
love
you
it.
and
It was a
Eric
great
Stone
game.
Street and Paul Rudd do the whole victory.
we love
thing.
Andy. We love Andy Reid.
I've been a Chiefs fan since I was very young.
Andy is the man.
We love Andy, so Andy's always royalty here. But
that hurt.
We had a great game. It was a great game.
It was a phenomenal
see you in February in Vegas.
Right.
How about that?
Let's do it again.
Why don't you do a show? You guys do a show and get ready for that. We'll be out there for the Super Bowl in Vegas. All right, guys, have a great weekend. All right,
thank you.
Everybody go on out.
See you on Radio Row.
Hey,
with your Chiefs jersey.
And my hair will be back. Hey, support life-saving cancer research. Join us and our generous partners, Paul B. Moyer and Sons, and make a donation today to the American Association for Cancer Research. Do it at 97.5thefanatic.com/AACR, because I am living proof twice over, soon to be 3 times over, that cancer research saves lives. Have a great weekend, everybody. Cuz Radio comes your way next. Let's go, Phils. Beat up on the Dodgers. We'll be back Monday.